Chapter 1281. Sima Yuyue felt the familiar power and was overjoyed. Aha, I'm free again. Top-grade purple lightning's excited and proud voice was heard, which made Sima Yuyue excited as well. With it around, he would be able to keep his life today. She took out a pill and ate it, hoping that it would make her broken body feel better. She did not think that she would recover her spirit energy at this time. Maybe this was the arrangement of the heavenly Tao. She had to go through a heavenly tribulation to recover. Or rather, the reason she was struck by lightning this time was because she was trying to save those people. The heavenly Tao found out about it, so it ended her punishment. But it did not matter to her as long as she recovered her spirit energy. After eating the pill, she did not have any energy left. She laid on the ground and looked at the dark clouds above her. She did not know when it would end. Top-grade purple lightning came out of her body and stood on her forehead. It looked at the heavenly tribulation in the sky with greedy eyes. Bang! The heavenly tribulation fell. This time, most of it was absorbed by top-grade purple lightning. Only a little entered her body. Hiss! Even if it was just a little, her body could not take it. It was so painful that she wanted to faint. At this time, there was a fluctuation in the sky. Then, the space was torn apart. A figure walked out from inside, causing everyone to be stunned. Who is that? He can actually enter the area of the heavenly tribulation. Someone shouted. Once the heavenly tribulation started, the space within the area of the heavenly tribulation was separated from the outside. It was to prevent people from entering the area of the heavenly tribulation to cause trouble. But this person could actually tear apart the sky and go to Sima Yuyue's side. This was too unbelievable. That's His Highness Holy Son. The people of the Sage Pavilion recognized him and said excitedly. Tang Yun recognized him the moment he appeared. His lips curled into a meaningful smile. Ling Yu. I haven't seen him in a long time. Sima Yuyue looked blankly at Wu Lingyu, who came out from above her and landed beside her. I'm not hallucinating, right? She said weakly. Could it be that I missed you too much? Wu Lingyu's angry eyes turned into helplessness and tenderness after hearing her words. He squatted down beside her and looked at her body that was already beyond recognition. He picked her up and said with heartache, "Why do you always make yourself like this?" She blinked a few times before revealing a joyful expression. So it really is you, she said with a smile. The only part of her face that was still intact was her eyeballs. The rest of her face, all right, had been struck beyond recognition. But he didn't feel any disdain for her frightening appearance. He caressed her almost burnt face and said, "Yes, it's me. I'm back." The words, "I'll be back," instantly made her eyes tear up. She didn't even make a sound even though her body had been hacked to pieces. God knows how much she missed him after not hearing from him for so many years. She couldn't hear his voice or touch his existence. Now, he finally said to her that he was back. Wu Lingyu looked at her from the void for a while. He saw her grimacing in pain from being struck by lightning. He saw her enduring great pain. But even so, she didn't cry out in pain or shed a single tear. He didn't think that her eyes would turn red with just one sentence from him. Originally, he didn't plan to come out when he saw her going through the tribulation and that there were so many people around. But when he saw how terrible her situation was, his heart ached and he came out. Don't cry. My heart hurts when you cry. Wu Lingyu wiped away the tears at the corner of her eyes. Tears were salty and it hurt even more when they fell on her face. Why did you come back at this time? Sima Yuyue suddenly complained. I came back as soon as the situation there stabilized. If I knew that you would encounter such a situation, would have come back earlier. Wu Lingyu saw her complaint and quickly explained. Sima Yuyue didn't listen to his explanation and said, I was struck to this extent. If you come back at this time, you'll see me at my ugliest. Wu Lingyu was stunned. So that's what she was talking about. Seeing the embarrassment in her eyes, he smiled charmingly and said, no matter what you look like, you'll always be beautiful in my heart. After saying that, he planted a kiss on her lips. Sima Yoyue's heart melted from this kiss. Seeing his gentle eyes, her lips curled into a happy smile. Hiss. The corners of her lips pulled at the flesh on her face. It hurt so much that she sucked in a breath of cold air. Don't move. I'll heal you. Wu Lingyu said. Don't. Sima Yue stopped him. I'm going through the tribulation now. Go out first. If you barge in like this, you'll definitely be severely punished. Before the tribulation lightning strikes, hurry and go out. It's okay. Wu Lingyu said nonchalantly. He held her hand and was about to transfer his spiritual energy to her when a bolt of lightning about 1/2 meter wide fell from the sky above them. Lingyu. Sima Yue screamed. The people outside were also shocked. It seemed like the tribulation was very dissatisfied with the intruders. This tribulation lightning was thicker than the average one, which meant that it contained a lot more energy. Wu Lingyu saw Sima Yoyue's worried eyes and smiled. With a wave of his hand, the tribulation lightning stopped in midair. It wasn't just the tribulation lightning. The tribulation lightning and the figures of the ghosts within the tribulation clouds all froze. This is. The group of old men were all stunned. Even Tang Yun, who had always been calm, stood up from his chair and looked at the frozen scene in disbelief. This is. Time freeze? He looked at Wu Lingyu, not daring to believe that he would really see this scene. Time freeze? Although the people around didn't recognize what it was, they understood what it was when they heard it. Space seal and time freeze. Although both of them controlled the surroundings, there were many people who knew how to use space seal. However, Wu Lingyu was the first person who knew how to use time freeze. The people outside were all stunned, but it wasn't because of his time freeze. Lingyu, you. Sima Yue looked at him blankly. Shoo, don't ask about other things. There's not much time left. Let me heal you first. Wu Lingyu smiled gently at her. Then, he put his left hand on her shoulder and his right hand on her forehead. A warm current flowed from her brain to her limbs and the pain in her body lessened. 2 minutes later, he retracted his hand and placed her back on the ground, saying, "This is as far as I can go, but it's enough for you to pass through the tribulation. I'll wait for you outside." With that, he disappeared from her side and appeared outside the tribulation clouds. At the same time, the tribulation lightning in the sky quickly struck down. Chapter 1282. The lightning that had stopped in the sky descended, and the ghosts began to move again. Screams rang out again, and the entire tribulation cloud area was in chaos again. Those who fled, those who died, and those who resisted, it was as if the 2-minute freeze didn't exist. When the heavenly tribulation struck, more than half of the extreme purple heavenly thunder was devoured. The rest of the extreme purple heavenly thunder entered Sima Yoyue's body. If not for Wu Lingyu's treatment, she would have lost half of her life. Although it had only been 2 minutes, a huge change had occurred in her body. She didn't know how Wu Lingyu had done it. Wu Lingyu stood beside the tribulation cloud and stared at Sima Yu without blinking. Although the expression on his face didn't change, every time a bolt of lightning landed on her body, his lips would tighten a little. Because there were too many ghost clansmen, the battle formation this time was much more powerful than the one in Blood Fiend City. It took almost 4 days to complete. After the cloud spirit killed all the ghost clan members, it saw Sima Yue who was lying on the ground. It pursed its lips. Humans were so troublesome. Just one strike and they became like this. If Sima Yue knew what it was thinking, it would probably die from anger. How was it only struck once? From start to finish, there were no less than 100 times, alright? Although the beasts blocked a lot of the attacks, she was still struck very badly. Unfortunately, they were not contracted, so she had no way of knowing what it was thinking. Forget about the way you are today. In a few days, you have to look for me. The cloud spirit's cute voice sounded in Sima Yoyue's mind. She did not expect it to be able to transmit its voice. Knowing that it wanted the fruit wine, it agreed in its heart, then closed its eyes and fainted. Cloud's spirit left with satisfaction after getting her promise. Once it left, the tribulation clouds quickly dispersed. When the surrounding people saw that the tribulation cloud had not left, they thought that something had happened. Now that it had finally left, they all heaved a sigh of relief. Wu Lingyu appeared by her side as soon as the tribulation cloud left. Seeing that she had fainted, he carried her in his arms. The space tunnel opened and Bai Xing brought Shimen Feng out. Seeing the unconscious Sima Yuyue, he asked anxiously, "How is she?" "She's still breathing. She just fainted." Wu Lingyu said, "Take her back to rest first." Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun came over as well, and the rest of the Sima family followed behind them. "How's Yuyue?" Sima Lu Feng asked. "We'll talk about it when we get back." Wu Lingyu hugged Sima Yuyue and turned to look at Bai Xing. Bai Xing nodded. He opened the space tunnel and brought them back. Sima Lu Yun and Sima Lu Feng walked behind. The spatial tunnel closed the moment they entered. Those Sima family members who wanted to follow were locked outside. The Sima family felt awkward. The young masters were too much. They were also concerned about the young Mississippi. Why didn't they bring them along? At this time, Tuoba Hongya walked out and told the group of old men that he needed their help to seal the passage. Coincidentally, there's still heaven's pressure in this area. If we use this as a seal, the effect would be the best. Tuoba Hongya said. Tuoba family head, what do you want us to do? Just tell us. All right. Everyone, please follow me. Wu Lingyu brought Sima Yuyue back to Memory Restaurant. Baito was shocked when he saw Sima Yuyue who was burnt. What happened to Vice Valley Lord? She was struck by lightning. Shimen Feng said, Lingyu, I'll bring you to her room. Old Bai, when they come back, don't let them in while we heal. Yes, Valley Lord. Wu Lingyu glanced at Shimen Feng and the few of them went straight to Sima Yuyue's room. Baito was worried when he saw that Sima Yuyue was injured so badly. He paced around in the courtyard, waiting for Bai Sheng and the rest to come out to ask about the situation. After a while, Feng Kai and Feng Ji brought Bei Gong Tang and the rest in. When they saw Baita, they asked, Are Valley Lord and Boss back? They're back. They brought her to heal. Baita said. Let's go in and take a look. Fatty Chu said as he walked towards the backyard. Don't. Baita pulled them back and said, Valley Lord instructed us to heal Vice Valley Lord and not to disturb him. Don't go and cause trouble. How badly is Yuyue injured? Bei Gong Tang asked. Looks like her whole body is burnt. There's not a single spot that's not injured. Baita said, What happened? Why is Vice Valley Lord injured so badly? It's hard to explain. We're not in the mood to talk about what happened. Feng Kai said. There's no use in being anxious. The door isn't open. You can't go in. Why don't you tell me what happened? Baita said. Feng Kai and the rest thought so too. They sighed and told him what happened these few days. You're saying that Vice Valley Lord killed all the ghost clansmen alone? Baita was shocked. This Vice Valley Lord was too powerful. The lightning tribulation struck for 4 days and 4 nights. How could it not strike those ghost clansmen to death? Fatty Chu and the rest recalled the scene. They were terrified just by watching from the outside. They couldn't imagine how she managed to survive the lightning tribulation. Especially since she didn't have any spirit energy. They felt heartache when they saw her being struck from afar. They didn't know how she was now. In the house, Sima Yuyue's situation wasn't good. Chapter 1283. After everyone left, only Wu Lingyu and her were left in the room. Sima Yuyue saw that he looked tired and said, You should go back and rest too. I'll handle the rest myself. I've seen an even uglier appearance before, but it's much better now. So you don't have to feel embarrassed. Wu Lingyu said. With her intentions exposed, Sima Yuyue glared at him and said, I told you to rest, so go and rest. I'll go with you. Wu Lingyu didn't want to leave, so she simply sat down by the bed. If you want me to rest, then I'll rest here. You won't vomit even if you look at me like this? It was a little uncomfortable at first, but it was fine after looking at it for a while, Wu Lingyu joked. Sima Yuyue wanted to slap him, but she couldn't move. She could only glare at him. Previously, he said that he didn't mind, but now he said that he felt uncomfortable looking at it. Sure enough, men's words couldn't be trusted. Wu Lingyu laid down beside her and looked at her body that had mostly recovered. He reached out and stroked her cheek, saying, "All right, you're recovering your body now. If you get angry, you'll have wrinkles." "Humph, I won't show you even if I have wrinkles." Sima Yuyue pulled a long face. If you pull a long face when you're repairing your body, you'll keep pulling a long face in the future. You don't look good. Come on, smile. Wu Lingyu gently poked her face with a finger, teasing her as if she was teasing a kitten. You'll get wrinkles if you smile. It's fine. I have pills that can remove wrinkles. Go away. The two of them chatted for a while, and soon, both of them fell asleep. Sima Yuyue's body automatically went into recovery mode while Wu Lingyu rested. Previously, he had used up quite a bit of his energy to freeze time. After that, he had transferred his spiritual energy to her. After that, he had come back with them to save her. Even though he was powerful, he was still a little tired. During this time, no one came to her room. Even though they knew that Wu Lingyu was inside, no one said anything. Firstly, he wouldn't do anything to her in her current state. Secondly, his previous behavior had made it clear that he had feelings for her. If it wasn't for him, Yuyue might not have been able to make it through today. Therefore, they were very grateful to him. They also felt that only someone like him was worthy of such an outstanding person like her. Time freeze, there was no one in the entire continent who could comprehend it. He was the only one who could do it. Needless to say, his talent was extraordinary. Wu Lingyu didn't sleep for a long time and woke up soon. He looked at her in bed for a while, his eyes full of love. In the past, he didn't know what it felt like to like a person, and he hated those women who cried, looked weak, and chattered. So even if he was the Demon King, he didn't allow women to get close to him. Chapter 1284. The little golden snake knew what she was thinking. It climbed onto her neck and wrapped itself around her. Then, it rubbed its little finger-sized head against her face and said, "Although I don't know much about this world, I still know what a contract is. Following you won't make me lose my freedom. You sure are sure." Sima Yuyue moved her hands. Because of the contract, the wounds on her body had healed. However, the scars were still there and they still looked scary. She sat up, stretched her neck, and held Xiao Jin in her hands. She said gratefully, "It's so comfortable when you're healthy." "Xiao Jin, thank you for helping me recover so quickly. Little gold can't transcend the tribulation with you, but it can help you heal." Little Jin is so happy. Sima Yuyue laughed when she saw Xiao Jin's body swaying from side to side. "But why didn't my spiritual energy increase after I contracted with you?" Sima Yuyue asked. "Yeah. Why?" The little golden snake stopped and looked at her blankly. "Because I suppressed it for you." Little Spirit said, "You will feel it when you go out." "Thank you, Little Spirit." Sima Yuyue knew that he was doing this for her own good. "By the way, how are the others?" "Their injuries are more serious, and they are all in seclusion to heal. However, this is also beneficial to them." Little Spirit said. "What benefits?" The little golden snake did not understand. The tribulation lightning they receive can help them comprehend the heavenly Tao. Although they won't truly comprehend their own Tao like you humans, it's still beneficial to their cultivation. Moreover, it will also increase their battle prowess by a lot. Little Spirit said. "I didn't know it could be used like that." The next time you go through the tribulation, let me go with you." The little golden snake said. Sima Yuyue saw that it was curious about this, so she nodded and said, "All right, I'll let you try it next time." Let's go and see them now. She brought the little golden snake to take a look at the beasts. All of them had transformed into their original forms and fallen asleep. Qi Yan was not with them. He was on the Qingyi tree. Sima Yuyue went to see him. He was recovering well. Qingyi appeared beside her. Seeing that she had recovered her strength, he said, "It's faster than I expected. But it makes sense. You saved so many people and endured the heavenly tribulation. The heavenly Tao naturally won't seal you. I didn't expect it to be so soon." Sima Yuyue said, "But the price is quite high. Do you know that this is the cycle of karma? The seeds you plant today will bring you unexpected results in the future." Qingyi smiled faintly, stunning Sima Yuyue. Karma? Since he had planted good karma today, he should also reap good karma in the future, right? Judging from Xingyi's reaction, she seemed to know something. However, based on the usual behavior of people at their level, it must be some kind of secret. Sima Yuyue looked around and after making sure that everyone was fine, she went to the pill refining room to refine pills for herself. Although her physique could prevent her from leaving any scars on her body, she still wanted to use pills to speed up the process. On the other side, Wu Lingyu went to Memory Restaurant. There wasn't a single person eating in the main hall. They were all from the Sage Pavilion and the Sima family. Seeing Wu Lingyu come out, the people from the Sage Pavilion bowed to him. He came in front of Tang Yun and bowed slightly, saying, "Assistant Pavilion Master." Tang Yun looked at Wu Lingyu and didn't say a word. Everyone thought that he was going to get angry, but he smiled instead. "Lingyu, where have you been all these years?" From the opening of the Immortal Land until now, the people from the Sage Pavilion hadn't heard from him for 20 years. If not for his life jade, they would have thought that something bad had happened to him. They sent people to the central regions to ask. They said that he had left a sentence to look for an opportunity before disappearing. The head pavilion even sent people to look for him. However, it was left unsettled in the end. Because I suddenly had an epiphany, I went out to look for an opportunity. After that, I found a paradise and went into seclusion there. Wu Lingyu said. "You just came out of seclusion?" "Yes." Wu Lingyu said, "The moment I came out, I sensed that something had happened to Yuyue, so I came over to take a look." With his previous performance, no one doubted his words. After all, to be able to comprehend this, not to mention 20 years, even 200 years was possible. "You've already comprehended the power of time?" An elder from the inner regions asked. "I've just crossed the threshold." Wu Lingyu answered humbly, "The only thing I can do now is to freeze time." "That's already very impressive." That elder looked at him with admiration. Time and space are different. It's even more difficult to comprehend time. If it wasn't for the fact that there was an ancient person who knew this move, we would have thought that it was a lie. In 10,000 years, no one knew this. Your Highness Holy Son doesn't have to be humble. Wu Lingyu smiled and didn't continue talking about this. "Lingyu, when did you get together with Sima Yuyue?" Tang Yin asked. "The first time I went to the Yi-Lin continent, I met her. After that, I slowly got to know her and fell in love with her." Wu Lingyu said. "Although Sima Yuyue is young, her background and power make me blush with shame. Only she is worthy of the Holy Son." The elder said. The people from the Sima family were unhappy and said, "What do you mean our family's young miss is worthy of him? It's obvious that only he is worthy of our family's young Mississippi, Sima family, don't go too far. We've given you some face and you've taken advantage of us. You Sage Pavilion are the ones who are. If not for the fact that your Highness Holy Son treats our family's young miss well, we wouldn't have taken a fancy to you." "You, all right. Everyone quiet down. What's the point of making a ruckus here?" Tang Yin scolded. "No matter what, Sima Yuyue just solved a disaster for the continent. How can you argue about this when she's injured?" The people from the Sage Pavilion did not speak. The Sima family wanted to say something, but they were interrupted. "If I didn't remember wrongly, at that time, Sima Yuyue was abandoned by you, right? Now you're saying that she's your young miss, but whether she acknowledges it or not is another matter. The Sima family was poked in their sore spot. They were angry, but they could not refute. Because when the great elder returned, he said that Sima Yuyue did not seem to be willing to return to the clan. Everyone. Baida, who was watching from the side, finally spoke. He cupped his hands and said, "Our family's Valley Lord has said that while the Vice Valley Lord is recuperating, he hopes that everyone will not disturb him. We won't disturb, we'll just wait here." The people from the Sima family said. But Baida was in a difficult position. "But, we still need to operate here. We don't have a place to stay. If you stay here, you'll disturb us." Baida did not finish his sentence, but everyone understood what he meant. Chapter 1285. The Sage Pavilion and the Sima clan both had some opinions about the people from Heartbreak Valley. They had made their intentions clear so blatantly. They were a force from the inner regions. There were many forces from the outer regions who wanted to curry favor with them. How could they push them away like this? But their own boss didn't say anything. Even if these people had their own thoughts, they couldn't say anything. "I heard that there's an inn next door. Do you want to come with us?" Tang Yun looked at Wu Lingyu and asked. Wu Lingyu shook his head. "Her condition is not stable now. I have to look after her." "So affectionate." Tang Yun sighed and led the people from the Sage Pavilion out. The Sage Pavilion had already set an example. The Sima family couldn't get angry. After all, this was little Mrs. Force. She hadn't said that she was going back to the clan. If they messed things up, it would be hard to explain when they went back. "Aren't you doing business? Then let's do our business. Everyone, let's go eat." "All right." So, for the next few days, the Sima family ate and drank here. They spent a lot of money. Luckily, the Sima family was rich and didn't care about this bit of money. Sima Yuyue stayed in the spirit pagoda for a month. The scars on her body disappeared completely under the effect of the pills and her physique. Little Spirit told her that everyone was waiting for her outside. Only then did she find a set of clothes that could protect her from divine sense. Then she put on a cloak and a pair of gloves to cover her whole body, so that no one would be able to see her current state. She knew that Wu Lingyu was in her room. When she went out, she wasn't surprised to see him. Wu Lingyu saw that she had wrapped herself up, went up and pulled open her cloak, saying, "Why did you wrap yourself up so tightly? It's only been a few days. If I stand in front of others in perfect condition, they will think of me as a monster." Sima Yuyue said, "Even if they don't think of me as a monster, they will be curious about me. If someone finds out, I'll be in trouble." Sima Yuyue had yet to finish speaking when the expression on her face became a little strange. Wu Lingyu grabbed her hand, wanting to see what was wrong with her. He felt that her strength had increased by another level, allowing her to jump from the Divine Paragon Intermediate rank to the Divine Paragon Advanced rank. Furthermore, she didn't stop after she broke through. She only stopped when she touched the Monarch rank. Feeling the change in the air, she grabbed Wu Lingyu's hand, saying, "Quickly take me away from here." Wu Lingyu knew that she was going to face the lightning tribulation again, so he grabbed her hand and opened a space tunnel to leave. In the inn next door, Tang Yun felt something. He opened a spatial passage and walked in. Wu Lingyu took Sima Yuyue to the outskirts of Six Water City, far away from those people. "This place is quite far from Six Water City. It shouldn't attract any attention," Wu Lingyu said. As soon as he said that, he sensed movement in the air. Sima Yuyue stared at him. Didn't he say it was safe? Why did someone come so quickly? Tang Yun came out of the spatial passage. Sima Yuyue was a little surprised. Why did this guy follow her? She thought that someone came here by accident, but now it seemed like it wasn't. The tribulation cloud in the air was quickly condensing. If he was here, wouldn't she be exposed? Wu Lingyu wasn't surprised. He patted Sima Yuyue's shoulder, saying, "It's okay, go prepare for your tribulation." Sima Yuyue looked at Tang Yun who was walking over, then looked at Wu Lingyu. Seeing that he was so sure, she nodded, turned and walked towards the empty space. Dark clouds gathered above her head. After the previous tribulation, this tribulation was like child's play to the three of them. If it was someone else, they would definitely be prepared, but to Sima Yuyue, this tribulation wasn't enough to make her nervous. She waited for the cloud spirit to arrive, then flew directly to the tribulation cloud, looking for the cloud spirit to chat. Tang Yun stood beside Wu Lingyu, saying, "Ever since you came here, your eyes have been on her. Am I that unattractive? Why do you sound so sour?" Wu Lingyu rolled her eyes at him. "How can I not be sour? In any case, I'm still the Sage Pavilion's assistant pavilion master on the surface. You don't even want to keep up appearances. I called you twice and you didn't even come. You're guarding her all day, treating her like a treasure and me like a blade of grass." Tang Yun said bitterly. "Did I ask you to be a blade of grass?" Wu Lingyu glanced at him helplessly. "Humph, isn't that right? You should have told me earlier that you were close to her. I could have helped you take care of her in the immortal land." Tang Yun said. "Tell you? Wouldn't that make you even more curious?" Wu Lingyu knew Tang Yun too well. Even if she didn't tell him, he was already interested in Sima Yuyue. If she told him, it would be terrible. Moreover, during that time, he was with Yuyue. Why would Tang Yun take care of her? If anyone else was here, they would definitely be surprised by the way the two of them interacted. How was this something a superior and subordinate would say? It was something only a pair of good friends would do. Tang Yun saw Sima Yuyue suddenly fly into the tribulation cloud and was shocked, saying, "What is she doing in the clouds?" "Chatting," Wu Lingyu said. Tang Yun's eyes widened. "Chatting? With who?" "The cloud spirit. The heavenly messenger that controls the tribulation?" Since when were they close enough to chat? Tang Yun felt that it was a little unbelievable. Seeing it with his own eyes was more shocking than hearing her say that she was going easy on the cloud spirit. It's probably because of their friendship. Wu Lingyu saw the envy in his eyes and patted his shoulder, saying, "Since you're so interested, why don't you go and get struck by it? Maybe you can form a friendship too." Go, why don't you go?" Tang Yun slapped his hand away, saying, "She's immune to lightning, right? Otherwise, how could she enter the tribulation cloud?" Wu Lingyu didn't say anything, silently agreeing with his words. What a mysterious woman. Tang Yun touched his chin, his eyes filled with interest towards her. Feeling the sudden drop in temperature, he said helplessly, "Do you have to be like this? She's your woman, do you think I can covet her? With your personality, it's hard to say." Wu Lingyu lowered his own pressure. He believed in Yuyue, but he didn't believe this guy. Tang Yun saw that he was serious, waved his hand, saying, Okay, I won't do anything to her, okay?" "Humph," Wu Lingyu then retracted his gaze. "But you didn't go into seclusion for the past 20 years, right?" Tang Yun said, "Did you go back to the Devil Realm?" Devil Realm, I haven't gone back for a long time. I don't know what it's like now." Tang Yun sighed. If others heard it, they would be shocked by his words. The Sage Pavilion's assistant pavilion master was actually a devil who cultivated both the dark and light attributes. Chapter 1286. Wu Lingyu didn't know about Tang Yun's identity in the past. The two of them only had a good relationship in private, but it wasn't to the point where they had to share such a secret. Later on, when their souls fused as one, he became extremely sensitive to the aura of the demon race and discovered his true identity. At that time, he was also very surprised. Later on, when he found out about Tang Yun's matters, their relationship became even better. The devil world is a bit chaotic right now. If you go back, your enemies probably won't have time to chase after you. Wu Lingyu said. That's not necessarily true. Tang Yun's face flashed with hatred, but no matter what, I will definitely return to this devil realm. Yes, I'll take my revenge. Hurry back and settle the situation over there. That way, when I go back, there won't be so much trouble. Tang Yun said. I asked you to come along, but you didn't want to. Maybe next time. When I have the courage to go back, I will definitely go back with you. All right. Sima Yu, who was on the tribulation cloud, didn't hear anything about the conversation here. At this time, she was drinking wine with Cloud Spirit. Where have you been all these years? Cloud Spirit raised its head from the wine jar. The jar of wine was finished in less than 2 minutes. It smacked its lips twice. It was still a familiar taste. I went to the immortal land and stayed there for 20 years. Sima Yuyue said, "Why, did you miss me?" "I miss your wine," Cloud Spirit said bluntly. "You once said that the 3 realms belonged to you. Why wasn't it you in the immortal land?" Sima Yuyue asked. "Does the immortal realm belong to the ghost realm, devil realm, and human realm? This doesn't even belong to the 3 realms. How can it be under my jurisdiction?" Cloud Soul said. "Are you still in charge of the tribulation in the ghost realm?" "Okay." Cloud Spirit jumped onto another jar of wine and buried its head in it. Sima Yuyue smiled as she watched Cloud Spirit gulp down the wine. If the other 2 realms were really under its control, then she would have another way to deal with her enemies in the future. "Alright, I'm going to chop it. You can leave now." "Oh right, save the wine and pills for me first." Cloud Spirit finished another jar of wine and said to her. Sima Yuyue gave it a pile of fruit wine and pills before flying down. As soon as she landed, a bolt of tribulation lightning struck down. Fortunately, it wasn't very strong, otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to withstand it. "This Cloud Spirit, why is it striking so fast?" she muttered, and let the purple top-grade heavenly lightning climb to the top of her head to receive the tribulation lightning behind. Tang Yun saw that Sima Yuyue had easily received the lightning tribulation and was completely fine. He sighed and said, "Other than her, I'm afraid no one else would be able to pass the tribulation so calmly." Why is this heavenly tribulation getting heavier? Wu Lingyu had been watching her the entire time. Naturally, she knew why the heavenly tribulation was getting heavier. Sima Yuyue did not expect that the appearance of the little golden snake would cause a change in the heavenly tribulation. This had never happened before. The little golden snake was on Sima Yuyue's neck. When it saw the tribulation clouds in the sky, it shrank its head back in fear. "If you're scared, you can go back first." Sima Yuyue patted its little head. "I'm not scared." The little golden snake said, "Little Roar and the rest can do it, so can I. I'm much stronger than them. Moreover, I feel that I should be struck by lightning. But I don't know why." Sima Yuyue looked at the little golden snake in astonishment. "It should be struck by lightning? It's probably because you're an ancient creature and you've advanced in rank. That's why you need to be struck by lightning?" she guessed. The little golden snake did not know, but its instincts told it that being struck by lightning would be beneficial. As a result, when the lightning tribulation came down, the little golden snake jumped up from her body and caught the lightning tribulation halfway. When the lightning tribulation struck its body, the little golden snake's body returned to its original form. Its golden body flickered with the light of lightning. Its 100-meter-long body struggled in the air, as if it was heavily injured by the lightning. This is... Tang Yun looked at Sima Yuyue. How is this possible? Although Wu Lingyu always knew that the little golden snake was an ancient creature, he never thought of its identity. Today, when he saw its original form, his heart was shocked. Tang Yun looked at him and saw that he was shocked as well. His heart felt better. "I never thought that the ancient sacred beast soaring snake would live until today. Did it come from a spirit stone?" Wu Lingyu nodded and frowned, saying, "I never thought that such a small thing would actually be a soaring snake. This girl's contracted beasts are each stronger than the other. Your voice is very heavy. Isn't this good? Her luck, I'm afraid that other than you, no one else can compare to her." Tang Yun pointed out. He was not referring to his current identity, but the demon king from hundreds of thousands of years ago. "That's why I died early," Wu Lingyu said. "What are you worried about? Everyone's luck is fixed." Wu Lingyu said, "If a person's luck is too good, there will be a certain amount of responsibility or setbacks. Her luck is too good. Her cultivation talent, the talents of various professions, the status of contracted beasts by her side, all these are consuming her luck. I'm worried that something will happen to her in the future that we can't predict." Even he had become a part of her luck. If she did not meet him, she would not have her current accomplishments in alchemy, beast taming, and arrays. Tang Yun also understood this point. The higher one's strength, the more they would understand this. Her luck and talent are really too good. Is there any way to resolve it? Tang Yun asked. If it was in the past, I might be able to sense it, but with my current strength. Wu Lingyu was helpless. He could not sense what would happen to her in the future, so he could not determine if it was good or bad. Why don't you find some time to look for Yin Lin? He might know something. Tang Yun suggested. That's the only way. It was just that the two of them knew that Yin Lin might not say anything. It was nothing before, but now that I've heard you say it, the continent seems to be in a mess recently. Tang Yun was a little flustered. Since ancient times, every time there's chaos, there will always be outstanding people appearing. Now that I've seen her, I think that the human realm is going to be in chaos. Isn't it chaotic enough? Wu Lingyu said, that's right, these few years, how's the investigation of those people going? I don't know what kind of power it is. Even the Sage Pavilion's intelligence system can't find any trace of them. Tang Yun said, I think it's a few powers working together. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so powerful. Even you can't find out anything? Wu Lingyu was a little surprised. Tang Yun nodded and said, that's right. Our people would be one step behind. Although we found many clues, we didn't get any useful information. I'm thinking, could it be that the Sage Pavilion is also involved? This book came from Chapter 1287. The lightning tribulation only struck a few times before it ended carelessly. The three of them couldn't stand it anymore. Sima Yue returned after the lightning tribulation. The two of them stopped talking. When Wu Lingyu saw her return, he walked over to catch her and asked, how was it? I'm fine, but little golden snake seems to have some problems. After receiving 2 lightning tribulations, it fell asleep. Sima Yue said. It should be digesting the power of the lightning tribulation. Don't worry. Wu Lingyu tidied her messy hair. How was your trip this time? Yes. Cloud Spirit is good at going easy on me. It doesn't matter to me. Sima Yue smiled. If others were to hear your words, I don't know if they would be jealous of you or laugh at you for being struck so many times. Tang Yun walked over and laughed. No matter what they think, it has nothing to do with me, Sima Yue said nonchalantly. Your mentality is really... Tang Yun looked at Sima Yue. Are you really a little girl? How can he be so calm? What do you think? Sima Yue asked. It doesn't seem like it. Tang Yun expressed his feelings. Your thoughts are better than those old farts. Are you trying to regain your youth? Take your time to think about it. I won't tell you. Sima Yue said, Lingyu, let's go back. If we leave without saying goodbye, they will be worried if they don't see me. All right. Wu Lingyu held her hand and opened a spatial passageway to look at Tang Yun. Tang Yun thought that Wu Lingyu was inviting him out of goodwill, but before he could say anything, he was doused with cold water by Wu Lingyu. You can leave after we leave. After Wu Lingyu finished speaking, he pulled Sima Yue into the spatial tunnel. Once they entered, the tunnel closed. When Tang Yun saw the spatial passageway close just like that, he could not resist sighing emotionally and said, really forgetting friends after having a wife. Sigh, I'd better go back myself. After sighing with emotion, he opened a spatial passage and went back. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu's sudden appearance in the courtyard gave the little guys a fright. Yue, why did you come back? He just went out to transcend the tribulation. Sima Yue said. They looked at her in surprise. You advanced again? Yeah, when I was unconscious, little golden snake contracted with me, and then I leveled up. Sima Yue said, but because of the contract, my injuries have healed. That's good. Bei Gong Tang saw that her skin had also recovered to its original state, without leaving behind any scars. Only then did she relax. Shiman Feng and Sima Luyun came out. Seeing that Sima Yuyue had completely recovered, the former was calm while the other two were shocked. It has only been a few days, right? How did he recover so quickly? It's good to be young. Sima Lu Feng walked 2 rounds around Sima Yuyue and sighed. It's good that you've recovered. Sima Lu Yun did not agree with Sima Lu Feng's words about being young, but he did not continue asking. Bai Ta came in from the front courtyard. When he saw that Sima Yuyue had already recovered, he was stunned. Shopkeeper Bai, what's the matter? Shiman Feng spoke, interrupting his surprise. It's like this. The Sima family is outside, asking about the Vice Valley Lord's injuries. They said that they want to come in and see the Vice Valley Lord. Bai Ta regained his senses and said. Sima family? Sima Yuyue looked at Sima Lu Yun. The people they brought? It's second elder and some uncles in the family, which is your grandfather's generation. They said that they want to see you. Sima Lu Yun said. Sima Yuyue frowned. Did this have a deeper meaning? Yuyue, no matter what, you're still a member of the Sima family. The blood flowing in your body is the blood of the Sima family. Sima Lu Feng continued, although we don't like some people in the family, it's still our family. But to me, it's just a place with the same surname. Sima Yuyue continued, it has never raised me or taught me anything. I've never eaten any food there, nor have I eaten any pills. The family has let you down, but this can't erase the fact that you're a member of the Sima family. A voice came from the sky. Then, the space tunnel opened and a few elders in white came out. Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun were stunned when they saw these people. They went forward and bowed, greetings to clan master and elders. Clan master, aren't you all in closed-door cultivation? Why are you all out? Sima Lu Feng asked. Gang Yi asked us to come out. Sima family's clan master, Sima Ji Yuan, answered Sima Lu Feng, but his gaze was always on Sima Yuyue. Sima Gang Yi was the great elder. He didn't come along this time because of the family and Gu family's matters. He didn't expect these old fellows to come personally. Yuyue, this is the clan master. These are the elders of the family. Sima Lu Feng introduced. Sima Yuyue bowed slightly to them and said, Heartbreak Valley's Vice Valley Lord greets the Sima family's clan master. When she said that, the faces of the Sima family's old fellows darkened. I'm your great-grandfather. Sima Ji Yuan said. My grandfather's father died long ago in Yilin continent. Sima Yuyue smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun were shocked when they heard what she said. They quickly explained, Clan Master, Yuyue didn't mean it that way. She just, Sima Ji Yuan waved his hand to interrupt them. He stared at Sima Yuyue and said, I've seen your information. You have the right to be arrogant, but no matter how arrogant you are, you can't deny that you're a member of the Sima family. Sima Yuyue shrugged and said, if I didn't have these external conditions, didn't have so many powerful contracted beasts and didn't have such good talent, would you still say such things? Sima Lu Feng lowered his head, feeling a little sad. Although they always talked about the family had become more and more disappointing and cold. Yuyue was right. If she wasn't so powerful, would the family have sent so many people to invite her back? Sima Ji Yuan looked at her eyes that were filled with anger. He was silent for a while before he said in a low voice, Why do you think you can live until now? Sima Yuyue frowned, What do you mean? Do you want me to thank you for not killing me that year? Sima Ji Yuan shook his head. He didn't say anything but condensed his spirit energy. Sima Lu Yun thought that he was going to attack Sima Yuyue and stood in front of her subconsciously. However, Sima Yuyue grabbed his arm. Sima Lu Yun turned around and looked at her. She looked straight at the spirit energy in Sima Ji Yuan's hand. Her face was filled with disbelief and shock. She walked over in a daze and reached out to touch his spirit energy. She muttered, How could it be? Chapter 1288. Sima Yuyue felt a familiar aura and took 2 steps back. She shook her head and said, "No, no." It was everyone's first time seeing her so shocked. They wanted to ask her what was wrong, but they didn't dare to open their mouths under Sima Ji Yuan's pressure. Wu Lingyu stepped forward and put an arm around her shoulders. He used a little strength to let her feel his presence and support. "So, do you understand now?" Sima Ji Yuan asked as he dispersed his spiritual energy. "How is this possible?" Sima Yue looked at him. "Weren't my parents the ones who sealed me? Why is it you?" She couldn't be more familiar with the aura that sealed the dark spirit energy in her body. She always thought that it was sealed by her parents because Sima Lu Yun and the others also said that not long after she was born, her parents' spirit energy was emptied. Ever since she heard this, she had thought so. Her parents must have used up all their spiritual power to seal her. Therefore, the seal in his body must have been made by his parents. However, she could feel that Sima Ji Yuan's aura was the same as the aura sealed in her body. This meant that the dark spiritual energy in her body was sealed by Sima Ji Yuan. If it was true, then what did her parents experience after giving birth to her that caused their spiritual power to dry up? But no one knew until they found them. If it was true, then wouldn't this person who claimed to be his great-grandfather know everything? "When your father brought you to the family, although it brought a lot of trouble, we didn't abandon you. Although I was the one who sealed you, the elders also helped. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to seal you with my strength alone." "Then you know about my physique?" Sima Yue asked. "If I didn't know about your constitution, why would I seal it for you?" Sima Ji Yuan said, "So although the clan has let you down all these years, we have never abandoned you." Although Sima Yue did not want to believe him, the seal in her body told her that he was telling the truth. Although Sima Lu Yun and Sima Lu Feng didn't know about the seal, but from their conversation, they understood quite a bit. "But, if that's the case, why would I be harmed by my family? How did it end up in the Yilin continent? You didn't end up in the lower continents." Sima Ji Yuan corrected her. "He didn't end up here. Back then, the elders and I all knew that your father had taken you away. Actually, this is your father's idea, and also the family's idea." Sima Ji Yuan said, "You are a smart child. You should understand that your status was so awkward at that time. Everyone in the inner regions was watching you and paying attention to you. You had to be on guard against attacks from others from time to time. Your family can protect you, but can you grow up like this?" The answer was, of course, no. "Letting you go outside is the result of your father's discussion with us. In order to ensure that no one knows about your whereabouts, we let your father take you away. But who would have thought that he would never return?" Thinking about how the number one genius of the clan had disappeared just like that, the old man sighed with emotion. Sima Yue remained silent. She needed time to think about what he had said. "Since Patriarch knows everything, then do you know where Lu Xian is?" Sima Lu Feng asked. "I don't know. He originally said that he would return after settling the child, but he went missing just like that. But I think, according to his personality, he must have received some news and went to the ghost realm." Sima Ji Yuan said. "Why didn't you send people to look for my father when you knew that he was injured?" "Why not? If the family objected, would your two uncles have been looking for him for so many years?" Sima Ji Yuan said, "All right, child, the world is not as bad as you think. The family is not as cold as you think. Go home." He said it very calmly, but Sima Yue felt that the words, "go home," contained the expectations and doting of an elder towards the younger generation. It turned out that her two uncles had been searching for so many years under their tacit approval. "I need to think about it." She had just found out about some things that she didn't know before, so she needed to sort out her feelings. "We can stay here for a few days." Sima Ji Yuan didn't let her make a decision immediately. He knew that if he forced her too much, it would be counterproductive. "We will stay beside you for these few days." "Are those houses still empty?" "One of them is empty." Wu Lingyu announced her rights. Sima Lu Yun and Sima Lu Feng wanted to say that they would stay beside her, but when they saw Sima Ji Yuan looking at them, they swallowed their words. Forget it, if they gave up their rooms, it would be good if Clan Master and the rest could get closer to Sima Yue. Then we will stay on the other side. Sima Ji Yuan was satisfied with their performance and said with a smile, then it's decided. Yue, you don't mind, right? Sima Yue shrugged her shoulders, up to you. Anyway, it wasn't her room that they were occupying, so she didn't care about these things. Shiman Feng didn't have any objections. This was Sima Yue's family, he wouldn't interfere. Since she didn't object, he would naturally support her. I'll get people to tidy up the rooms. Baito was good at observing the situation and immediately said to Sima Yue. All right. Get people to tidy up, and also tidy up a few rooms. Sima Yue ordered. All right, Junior Valley Master. Oh right, those people outside who said they want to see you. Let them find an inn to stay in. Sima Luyun said, if they don't listen, tell them it's Clan Master who said it. All right. Valley Master, Vice Valley Master, I'll go and arrange it first. Baita said. Go and do your work. Sima family's Clan Master, what Sima family's Clan Master, call me great-grandfather. Sima Ji Yuan interrupted her. Sima Yue stared at him. Didn't he say he wouldn't force her? Sima Ji Yuan saw that she was unhappy and explained, no matter if you're willing to come back or not, the blood relationship between us can't be broken. Calling me great-grandfather doesn't mean you've returned to the family. Those people in the family can't call me great-grandfather, they can only call me Clan Master. If you don't believe me, you can ask them. Sima Lu Yun nodded, while Sima Lu Feng complained, Clan Master, you're so biased. You're our grandfather, why don't you allow us to call you grandfather? Yue is still young, are you guys young too? Sima Ji Yuan reprimanded, and Sima Lu Feng immediately became obedient, but he still muttered something silently. Sima Yue happened to be opposite him, and when she saw the way his lips moved, she pursed her lips and laughed. He complained, who didn't do it when they were young, it didn't work at that time, right? In the end, you're still biased. Sima Lu Yun didn't say anything, but his meaning was obvious. Lu Feng was right, old master, you're biased. Chapter 1289. For the next few days, Sima Yue stayed in her room and didn't go out much, only occasionally going out to accompany Sima Ji Yuan. Please search, to see the most complete. Update the fastest. Originally, she wanted Sima Lu Feng and the others to accompany them, but the unrestrained Sima Lu Feng and the cold and arrogant Sima Lu Yun were extremely obedient in front of them. The indecent one was serious, the cold one wasn't cold anymore, they were like two obedient babies. However, Sima Ji Yuan did not like his own grandson and insisted that Sima Yue accompany him. Every time, he would use the excuse of increasing the relationship between the grandfather and grandson to prevent Sima Yue from rejecting him. But even so, she didn't spend much time with them. A few days later, she saw that Sima Ji Yuan and the others had no intention of leaving, so she unintentionally brought it up when they were tasting tea. Great-grandfather, how are the family and the Gu family now? She put the teacup in front of him with a pair of tongs and asked casually. Since the Gu clan dared to play dirty tricks behind our backs, they naturally have to face our wrath. Now, the family is suppressing them. Sometimes, there will be some fights, but it hasn't reached the point of life and death yet. Although Sima Ji Yuan had been in closed-door cultivation for a longer period of time, he was still rather familiar with the major matters of the clan. The Gu clan can be considered one of the aristocratic clans in the inner region, right? If there is a fight between the family and them, it will definitely not be a small matter. Are you not worried about leaving only the great elder in charge of the family? Sima Yue said. You little girl, you want us to leave, don't you? Sima Ji Yuan said, I've been rather comfortable here for the past few days, so I don't want to leave. Why don't you guys go back first? Even if I go back, I'll still be in seclusion. Why don't I train outside? Who knows, it might even help me advance. Those elders didn't want to go back either. The head of the family wasn't around. If they went back, the matter would fall on their heads. They didn't want that. Although they resisted, they couldn't resist Sima Ji Yuan's threats and promises in the end. The few elders were all chased back, along with the other members of the Sima family, leaving only Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun behind. Baita came in from outside and saw Sima Yuyue and the others drinking tea. He quickly walked over and said, "Vice Valley Lord, Tuoba family head and a few guild elders are here. Looking for me? Where are Feng, and the others?" Sima Yuyue asked. The Valley Lord brought Old Bai and the others out. The guild leader and the others said that it has been half a month since that incident. They wanted to come and take a look at your injuries. Baita said. I understand. Tell them I'll be right out. All right. Baita left again. Sima Yuyue looked at Sima Ji Yuan and the others, saying, I'll go out for a while, you guys, go ahead, don't worry about us. Sima Ji Yuan said. I should be back soon. Sima Yuyue nodded at them and stood up to leave. Wu Lingyu stood up and wanted to go with her, but she was stopped by Sima Ji Yuan. Lingyu, I heard that the tea you make is pretty good. Why don't you stay and drink some tea with us? Sima Yuyue was stunned. Why don't you stay and accompany great-grandfather? Wu Lingyu immediately understood and sat back down, saying, It's my honor to be able to drink tea with the head of the Sima family. Yuyue, you can go ahead. Sima Yuyue glanced at them, nodded and turned to leave. Wu Lingyu sat down. Seeing that the tea was almost finished, she took out new tea leaves to make. Sima family head, you asked me to stay because you have something to say, right? Sima Ji Yuan looked at Wu Lingyu's unwavering gaze and said, I heard about you and Yuyue. You are very talented and treat her well. However, you are the holy son of the Sage Pavilion. The relationship between the Sage Pavilion and the Sima family has never been good. Have you ever thought that you will bring trouble to her if you are together with her? His tone was cold. It seemed that he did not approve of the two of them being together. Wu Lingyu smiled, saying, Why is the head of the Sima family so sure that I will bring trouble to her if I am together with her? Isn't that so? Or are you willing to give up your identity for her? Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun saw that the atmosphere between the two of them was not right, but they did not say anything. They also wanted to see what Wu Lingyu would say to them. On the other side, Sima Yuyue came to the front hall and saw Tuoba Hong Yi and a few other presidents drinking tea. Xiao Hong, Tuoba Han and the other juniors were also there. She had put on her gloves and cloak before coming out. When she entered the hall, everyone only saw her figure. I'm sorry. I had to prepare so I came late. I hope that the head of the Tuoba family and the other presidents will not be offended. She apologized the moment she entered. Everyone saw that her movements were nimble and her body should be fine. We just came to see how you are. Are your injuries healed? Xia Chang Tian asked. My injuries are almost healed, but my skin has not fully recovered. That's why I don't dare to see anyone. Sima Yuyue said casually. Seeing you like this, you should have recovered more or less. We were worried when we saw that you were injured. Now we are relieved. Xiao Hong said. They believed what she said without a doubt. They had seen her injuries that day. It was a miracle that she could survive. They were already surprised that she could recover in such a short period of time. If she were to say that she had recovered, they would be horrified. Sima Yuyue saw the sincere concern in Xiao Hong's eyes and her heart felt warm. Oh right, is the matter with the passage settled? The ghost clan won't come over again, right? The passage has been sealed again. Those who were controlled have regained their consciousness. The matter has been settled successfully. Tuoba Hongyi said. It's all thanks to you this time. If it wasn't for you, the human race would have faced a catastrophe. Xue Changlin said, so other than coming to see you, we also want to express our gratitude. President Xue is too courteous. We are also part of the human race. Since we can help, we naturally can't refuse. Sima Yuyue said courteously. But for someone like you who almost lost your life, we can only watch from the outside. We let you take on such a huge responsibility at such a young age. Thinking about this, we old fellows feel guilty. Fang Ming said solemnly. President Fang's words are too much for you. Sima Yuyue waved her hand. If you say that again, I'll have to find a hole to hide in. Aya, don't be so courteous. Yuyue is a shy child. She'll be embarrassed if you continue to say that. Xia Chang Tian said, since Yuyue has recovered, let's talk about serious matters. Right, let's talk about serious matters first. After saying that, everyone's gaze fell on her. This book came from. Chapter 1290. Sima Yuyue was shocked by their burning gazes and subconsciously shrunk back, asking, what do you guys want? Actually, it's nothing much. Xia Chang Tian chuckled, in order to repay your efforts in this matter, we would like to invite you to join the Guild Alliance. Sima Yuyue blinked her eyes. Join the Guild Alliance? What the hell was this? President, isn't the Alchemist Guild part of the Guild Alliance? Why do you want me to join on my own? She asked in confusion. This time, we are not inviting you as an honorary elder of the Alchemist Guild, but as an individual. Fang Ming said, we hope that you can join the Guild Alliance and take up the position of Vice President. What? Sima Yuyue was stunned. You want me to be the Vice President? President, did you guys make a mistake? This is the result of our discussion. Xia Chang Tian said, on one hand, it is to thank you for your efforts this time, but at the same time, we have other thoughts. He paused for a moment, thinking that she would follow his words, but she only looked at him, waiting for him to continue. Cough cough, it's like this. You also know that the power is too mysterious, and you have the divine vermilion bird, which can truly command all the birds. This power added together is stronger than a few of our guilds combined. So we are thinking of whether we can borrow this power when the time comes. Xia Chang Tian was a little embarrassed as he spoke. He and Yuyue were familiar with each other, and knew that she usually would not use the power of the birds, but now they were thinking of this idea. But they had no choice. These few days, they had gathered all the information that the various guilds had, and they were shocked to find out that there was not a single useful piece of information. From this, it could be seen that the power in the dark was very strong. Even the Guild Alliance might not be able to deal with them. It was also because of this that they thought of Sima Yuyue and the power behind her. Sima Yuyue did not think that they would think of this, so when she heard this news, she was stunned for a moment. They thought that she was hesitating because Xia Chang Tian had told them that Yuyue would never force the birds for personal matters. This matter is not entirely for our own good. Once this world is thrown into chaos by that force, the bird clan will not be spared. That's why we want them to join us, Fang Ming explained. It's not that I'm unwilling, I'm just a little surprised to hear this news. Sima Yuyue saw that they had misunderstood her and said, in the face of the big picture, I don't think the bird clan will reject us. Does that mean you agree? No. Sima Yuyue waved her hand. I'm willing to contribute to this matter. However, I think it's better if I don't take up the position of Vice Alliance leader. Don't worry, even if I'm just a small fry, I'll do my best. What a joke. Vice Alliance Master, how much responsibility would he have to bear if he became the Alliance Master? She didn't have that much time to deal with this. See, I was right. She won't accept it. Xia Chang Tian said. What status and power? These things couldn't tempt her at all. It's like this. Yuyue, this position of Vice Alliance leader isn't to keep you here for anything. It's just like your honorary elder position in the Alchemist Guild. It's just a title. You don't have to do anything usually. You just have to contribute when we need you. He Chendong said. Sima Yuyue blinked. How could there be such a good thing? I've already told them. If they want you to do anything here, you definitely won't accept it. Why don't we give you a title so that when we need you, it'll be perfectly justifiable? Xia Chang Tian said. Sima Yuyue pursed her lips. President, you're really direct. Although it's just a title of Vice Alliance leader, this is something only we know. To our members, you're still the Vice Alliance leader. So you still have the power to command them. Xue Chonglin added. You're giving me such a high position. Aren't you afraid that I'll abuse my power? Sima Yuyue was shocked at their trust in her. It's just a Vice Alliance leader. Compared to that, it's not much higher than your king of birds. Xiang Yang said. That seemed to be the case. Sima Yuyue thought for a while and said, before I joined the Alchemist Guild, I've already told the president that I have many personal matters to settle. If you want me to be the Vice Alliance leader, I'll still say the same thing. When I have matters to settle, you can't ask me to do things here first. That's natural. Since we said that you're just a title, we won't ask too much of you. He Chendong said. That's good. Then I'll accept it. Sima Yuyue smiled. This is your token. In the future, everyone will listen to your orders when they see this. He Chendong took out a token. The servant girl at the side went up to take the token and brought it to Sima Yuyue's side. Even the token had been prepared. It seemed like they had come prepared. Sima Yuyue took the token and looked at it. It was similar to a normal token. There was the word Alliance written on the front and Yuyue written on the back. It represented her status. This one is silver. The Alliance leader's token is gold. He Chendong said, drip a drop of blood on it first, then inject your spiritual energy into it. The token will remember your aura. In the future, even if this token is picked up by someone else, you can't use it. Sima Yuyue followed his instructions and dripped a drop of blood on it. Then, she injected her spiritual energy into it. After the blood and spiritual energy entered the token, a milky white light shone from the token and enveloped her. She felt as if there was some kind of connection between her and the token. This is... She looked at He Chendong in shock. This is a token that old he specially refined for you. It's much better than the few of us old fellows. Ours is only a low-grade divine tool. Yours is a high-grade one. Xia Chang Tian said faintly. High-grade divine tool. Sima Yuyue took a deep breath. It was just a token. Was there a need to make it so high and mighty? He Chendong nodded. In view of your situation, the one I refined for you has a defensive function. It can withstand 3 attacks of monarch rank and below. Although it might not be of much use to you, it's better than nothing. This can be considered my thanks to you. If it wasn't for her, Xiao Hong would have been killed by the Ghost Clan. They might not have been able to survive. Although this thing wasn't of much use to her, she still kept it carefully to express her thanks. At this moment, Baida came in from outside. Vice Valley Lord, there's someone outside looking for you. Chapter 1291. More people came. She didn't seem to recognize anyone. Who came? Many came, all of them are the leaders of the bird clans. Please search, to see the most complete. Baida said, they said they want to meet you and Master Qi Yan. Sima Yuyue was stunned. She contacted Qi Yan in the Spirit Pagoda and asked him if he wanted to meet them. Qi Yan was silent for a while, then said, I'll go out and meet them, you just wait here. Don't you need me to accompany you? Don't you have guests here? Sima Yuyue looked at the president and the rest. They immediately understood and said, we just came to check on your condition and tell you about this. Since we're almost done, and you have other things to do, we'll go back first. We're really sorry. Sima Yuyue didn't ask them to stay. It was Qi Yan's first time meeting the bird clans. She wanted to go with him. Then we'll go back first. We'll tell you about the alliance later. Xue Chonglin and the rest stood up. All right, I'll look for you when I'm better. When are you leaving? Sima Yuyue asked as she sent them out. Shouldn't be too long. Xia Chang Tian said, when we've settled the alliance, we'll inform you. That's good too. I might have some other things to settle. It's best if you can tell me directly. Sima Yuyue was grateful for their understanding. You're injured so badly because of this, and you have so many things to settle, it's only right that we give you some convenience. Xie Chang Tian said, but Yuyue, you can't forget that you're a member of the Alchemist Guild even if you're the vice president. Sima Yuyue saw the hidden bitterness in his eyes and giggled, saying, President, don't worry, I won't forget. That's good. Oh right, why didn't I see Guard Gao this time? Sima Yuyue thought about how Xia Chang Tian was so clingy to Gao Zhihong. She thought that he had something to do, but after not seeing him for so long, it was strange. I told him to investigate that power. Xia Chang Tian said. Sima Yuyue was surprised. Then who will be responsible for your safety? There are other guards. Xia Chang Tian said. Can the other guards protect you? Sima Yuyue was worried. If the people from that power knew about the alliance, they might do something to them. If the guards were not in place, their safety would be in danger. It shouldn't be a problem. Xia Chang Tian said, no matter how strong that power is, they wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the alliance. I hope so. Sima Yuyue pursed her lips. After they left, she was still worried and secretly sent a few scarlet bees to follow him. After Xia Chang Tian and the others left, Bai Ta brought a group of people in. Sima Yuyue scanned the group. There were about 20 people. Greetings, Miss Yuyue. They bowed to Sima Yuyue. No matter how arrogant they were usually, no matter how much they looked down on humans, today, they had to lower their status to the lowest. If it was said that the great golden-winged roc had just evolved and they could still choose to ignore her because of their seniority, then with the appearance of the vermilion bird, they could no longer avoid Sima Yuyue's position in the bird clan. You are. Sima Yuyue did not recognize any of them. We are the clan leaders of the bird clan. We were not here that day, but when we heard that you were injured, we came to pay our respects today. Please forgive us. I know that you are here to see Qi Yan today. Sima Yuyue said, Qi Yan, come out. When Qi Yan came out, the bird clan leaders could not withstand his pressure and all of them knelt down. Greetings, Lord Divine Bird. Qi Yan looked coldly at the people on the ground and said, in the future, when you see her, you have to be as respectful as when you see me, understand? Yes, we understand. Cold sweat appeared on the foreheads of the clan leaders. Although they had acknowledged Sima Yuyue's position, they were not very respectful because in their eyes, Sima Yuyue was still a junior. But they did not expect that this vermilion bird had angered Qi Yan, causing him to show them his power and emphasize Sima Yuyue's position. It seemed that they could not underestimate this little ancestor in the future. Qi Yan retracted his pressure and sat beside Sima Yuyue. You can all get up. The patriarch stood up shakily. Just now, his pressure made them feel that in front of Qi Yan, he only needed to think about it, and they would die on the spot. Okay, you have seen me and know how to treat my contractor in the future. You can go back now. Qi Yan said. Sima Yuyue was speechless. After waiting for so long, he asked them to leave. The clan leaders were also surprised and did not move from their seats. Did Lord Divine Bird have to be so cold? Lord Divine Bird, when I have something to do, I will call you. You just need to leave your contact information and your place of residence. Qi Yan said. Although they really wanted to spend more time with Lord Divine Bird, they couldn't resist Crimson Flame's will. In the end, those clan leaders had no choice but to leave. They were also ordered by Crimson Flame to convey his will. When Yu and he did not look for them, they were not to disturb their lives. Sima Yuyue felt that Qi Yan's attitude was really arrogant, but she did not expect that the clan leaders would all listen to him and leave. Qi Yan saw the surprise in Sima Yuyue's eyes. He took a sip of her tea and said, "This is the world of ranks. You will get used to it." "That is my teacup." Sima Yuyue protested. "Anyway, your Wu Lingyu is no longer here. He won't say anything." Qi Yan said indifferently. "Don't you have mysophobia?" "I am used to it." Qi Yan took another sip before putting down the teacup and returning to the spirit pagoda. Sima Yuyue saw that he went back on his own initiative and sighed that it was good to have power. Speaking of which, if Qi Yan wanted to retaliate, she would not be able to do anything. Fortunately, he did not have that thought. Now that everyone had left, she took a breath and left the living room. She did not know what was going on in the backyard. When she walked out of the courtyard, she heard that her great-grandfather and Wu Lingyu's conversation did not seem to be very harmonious. However, no matter what, he was still her great-grandfather. Although he had her grandfather's approval, he still had to go through her immediate family. She thought that she would see an awkward scene when she returned, but she did not expect to see a happy and harmonious scene when she returned to the backyard. The four of them were drinking tea and chatting happily. It was not the scene she imagined at all. She remembered that when she left, she faintly heard her great-grandfather questioning him. How did it get better in such a short time? This guy was really resourceful. This book came from Chapter 1292. Later on, some people came to Sima Yuyue, but she rejected them all with the reason that she had not fully recovered. She didn't know where these people came from, so she didn't have the time to deal with them. Although Sima Zhiyuan felt that there were benefits to having a good relationship with these powers, his own great-granddaughter didn't like it, so he didn't say anything. A few days later, Shimen Feng brought Bai Sheng and the rest back. Feng, where did you guys go? Sima Yuyue walked over and asked when she saw Shimen Feng entering the courtyard. I made a trip to Fair Eastern City to take stock of the losses there. Shimen Feng said, I thought it would be done in a few days. You were busy, so I didn't tell you. What's the situation? Sima Yuyue asked. Every industry suffered some losses, but they weren't very serious. The most serious one is the spirit cloth shop. Because of the corrosion of ghost qi, all of it can't be used anymore. Where are the personnel? More than a dozen employees died. We've already comforted their families. As for the others, because they were controlled, their mental strength was damaged and they can't work for the time being. I have already sent them back to Heartbreak Valley. As for the business in Fair Eastern City, I've asked them to temporarily close for a few days to replenish their supplies. We'll wait for the valley to send someone over to reopen. Well, it's not like we're lacking in that. We can start after everything is arranged. Sima Yuyue said, what about Lu Yangkai and Old Bai? I told them to go back and rest. They have been busy these past few days. Shimen Feng replied. When they're done resting, I'll call them over to discuss something. Sima Yuyue said. Are we going to deal with the Yin Yang Palace and the Zongjing clan? Shimen Feng asked. What do you think? Sima Yuyue asked. Shimen Feng tucked her hair behind her ear and said, the valley has already prepared it, but leave it to us to handle. You just got injured, so don't worry about it. Sima Yuyue could feel the doting and fear in his words. She smiled and said, my injuries have healed. You know that. Although I can see that your injuries have healed, but when I close my eyes, the image of you being struck by lightning still appears in my mind. Shimen Feng's voice was somewhat trembling. Sima Yuyue could see the fear in his eyes. She knew that this incident had scared him to death. He had been worried that he would lose her for the past few days. She grabbed his hand and looked into his eyes. Don't worry. Since I've been reborn, I won't let myself die so easily. If it wasn't for Lingyu's help that day, would you have been able to hold on until the end? Thinking back to the scene that day, he still felt a chill in his heart. Of course. It's just that the situation will be a little worse. Sima Yuyue continued, Cloud Spirit and I are so close, it won't really kill me. No matter what, you just need to have a good rest. Just leave the matters of the valley to us. Shimen Feng said, what you need to do now is to have a good rest. Don't worry about anything else. I'll update you with the latest news. Sima Yuyue shrugged when she saw how determined he was. All right then. If the matters here are settled, we'll go back to Heartbreak Valley. How are you going to deal with this? Shimin Feng glanced at Sima Ji Yuan's room. To be honest, I don't know either. Sima Yuyue said, I don't know what the Sima family is like, so I can't make a decision for the time being. I think we'll talk about it after we find father. I think the Sima family's patriarch's attitude seems to be very determined. Shimin Feng hesitated for a moment and changed his rashness into determination. I think the people of Heartbreak Valley are very loving. If it's just a cold family, then I'm definitely willing to be with the brothers in the valley. Sima Yuyue didn't care if Sima Ji Yuan in the room could hear her or not. Or rather, she wanted to use this opportunity to express her thoughts. Sima Ji Yuan in the room frowned. This little brat still had a deep grudge against the family. It seemed that there was still a long way to go before he could let her go home. Sima Yuyue and Shimin Feng were chatting happily when they suddenly felt a fluctuation in the air. Both of them looked over cautiously. Wu Lingyu and Sima Ji Yuan in the room also came out. Who is it? Black fog seeped out of the air and slowly formed into a human figure. That person came in front of Sima Yuyue and knelt down. Your subordinate greets young Mississippi, someone from the Ghost Clan? Sima Yuyue raised her eyebrows. Yes, your subordinate is from the Imperial Guards. My name is Di Wu. That man said. Di Wu? Di Lu's brother? Sima Yuyue asked. Young Miss is indeed smart. Di Lu said that I definitely can't hide it from young Miss for even a minute. The man smiled. I didn't expect you to be one of the leaders of the Imperial Guards. Get up quickly. Sima Yuyue raised her hand. Di Wu got up and took out a token. The token shone brightly in his hand, proving that he was indeed the owner of the token. Deja had once told her that she could only trust people who came to her with this kind of token. Did cousin ask you to come? Did something happen to him in the ghost realm? Sima Yuyue asked. Master asked me to come, but it's not because something happened to him. It's because young Miss caused quite a commotion in the ghost realm. So Master specially asked me to tell young Miss not to go to the ghost realm in the near future. Di Wu said. Me? Yes. Young Miss made use of the lightning tribulation to kill many people from the Ghost Clan. Among them were some disciples of aristocratic families and sect geniuses. So many people in the Ghost Realm are making a ruckus, requesting the Ghost King to send troops to suppress you. Di Wu said. This human realm isn't a place that one can come and go as they please, right? Sima Yuyue said. Normal people can't come over, but if there's something to help, people like me can come too. Di Wu continued, if they send someone more powerful to assassinate you, it's quite dangerous. So Master reminded young Miss to be on guard against the assassination from the Ghost Clan. Go back and tell him that I'll be careful. Sima Yuyue said. Master didn't ask me to go back. Di Wu said. Didn't ask you to go back? Ask you to stay? Yes. Master asked me to stay and protect young Mississippi. Everyone in the courtyard was silent. Shimin Feng looked at Di Wu and said, if they really send someone to assassinate you, you can't stop them, right? You'll bring us trouble if you stay. As long as I restrain my aura, even a monarch rank expert won't be able to discover me. Di Wu continued, and I'm more sensitive to the aura of the Ghost Clan. If any Ghost Clan comes close, I'll be able to discover them immediately. Are you a dog? Sima Yuyue said. Young Miss is so smart. My original form is a hellhound. Di Wu said proudly. Sima Yuyue was speechless. She was just teasing him, how would she know that he was a dog? Chapter 1293. But it was just a thought, she did not say it out loud. Moreover, this hellhound was not an ordinary dog. He would be sad if she said it like that. That, I really don't need you to follow me. She was not used to strangers following her, it would be inconvenient for her to do many things. But, if I don't follow you, I can't go back. Di Wu looked at Sima Yuyue with an aggrieved face. Can't go back? What do you mean? I used a one-way tunnel to come here. I can only come from that side and not from here. Di-Wu said. Sima Yoyue's face turned black. Cousin asked you to do this, right? Miss is so smart. Lingyu, can you send him back to Ghost Realm? Sima Yuyue turned her gaze to Wu Lingyu. Yes. Wu Lingyu nodded. Don't, miss. If you send me back, I will be mocked to death by them. Di-Wu shouted, if that's the case, I might as well just die in the human realm. Weren't Ghost Clan's people more sinister? What's with this silly look? Why was this Di-Wu so different from the calm Di-Lu? Di-Wu, it's really not suitable for you to follow me. Sima Yuyue said, I have many things to do, I won't be able to do them well with you by my side. Miss, just ignore me, I won't speak, make any noise, or cause any trouble, I will only help you to check if there's any danger around, I won't disturb you. Di-Wu said. Sima Yuyue realized that this fella had the potential to make her speechless. Why didn't he understand what she said? She did not mind having another person by her side, but she had her own secrets. But this fella did not seem to understand what she meant, he even looked as though he would stay quiet. Do you want to make a move? Wu Lingyu asked. You. Sima Yuyue looked at Di-Wu's pitiful look, the words make a move were stuck in her throat. Who taught this guy how to act cute? Di-Wu saw that Sima Yoyue's heart softened, he quickly stuck close to her and giggled, young mistress, don't worry, I'll definitely be a quiet and handsome man. Sima Yuyue glanced at him. His facial features were indeed decent, but his baby face and those mischievous eyes completely betrayed him. I think it's better to send him back. Shiman Feng said, we've just settled the matter with the Ghost Clan. If people find out that you're with the Ghost Clan now, I'm afraid it'll attract some trouble. Di-Wu looked at Shiman Feng with resentment. Miss didn't even want to marry him, but this guy was still instigating him. How could he be so evil? I also agree with Feng. The ghost race had just caused such a huge commotion, causing the people of the continent to hate the ghost race even more. Even if you had saved them, their hatred towards the Ghost Clan would not be reduced. Instead, they'll blame you. Sima Zhiyuan had seen more and understood people's hearts more. Sima Yuyue looked at Di-Wu with a smile and said, see, I'm not the only one who said no, it's really not suitable for you to stay. I don't care, I'm not going back, I want to follow you. Di-Wu said, if I go back, I won't have the face to see anyone in the future. When Baita came in, he saw a person he had never seen before acting coquettishly towards Sima Yuyue. He didn't know if he was acting coquettishly or shamelessly. Valley Lord, Vice Valley Lord. This is Old Bai, can you sense his aura? Sima Yuyue asked. Baita sensed for a while and said, I can't sense it, which family's young master is this? You can't sense the Ghost Clan's aura on him? He's from the Ghost Clan. Valley Lord, why would someone from the Ghost Clan come here? Baito was astonished, he really couldn't tell that this person was from the Ghost Clan. Sima Yuyue was astonished, she thought this guy was bragging just now, she didn't expect him to be so capable. Let's try again. Sima Yuyue said, go and call Old Bai and the rest over to try, don't tell them beforehand. Okay. Baita turned and was about to leave when he suddenly remembered his purpose of coming in. He turned back and said, Vice Valley Lord, someone from the Divinator sect requests to see you. Divinator sect? Is Lin here? Sima Yuyue froze. It's not Master Lin, it's a very young man. She said he's called Xiaotong. Baita said. Xiaotong is here? Where is he? He's waiting in the living room. Baita didn't know why Sima Yuyue was so agitated. I'll go over directly. Bring Old Bai and the rest over to experiment. After Sima Yuyue finished speaking, she abandoned the people in the courtyard and ran away. That's right, she ran away, this had never happened before. This girl has never been so agitated when she saw me. Sima Zhiyuan was unhappy, jealous and resentful. She has never been so agitated when she saw me. Wu Lingyu agreed. You don't get this treatment either? Sima Zhiyuan felt a little better, it seemed like he wasn't the only one who got this treatment. Oh right, why did the divinator sect come to find her? They should be here to tell her news about her father. Wu Lingyu was guessing, but his tone was certain. What did you say? Sima Ji Yuan was also agitated. The divinator sect will really tell her news about little Xian? Sima family's head doesn't know? Wu Lingyu saw that he was so surprised and said, Yin Lin told Sima Yuyue to look for clean water in the immortal land. If she found it, he would tell her news about her father. After she came out, Yin Lin said that the time wasn't right. I think it should be because her spiritual energy was sealed at that time. Now that her spiritual energy is back, I guess he is here to tell her the news. Sima Ji Yuan's face darkened. I actually didn't know about such an important thing. Didn't the two uncles tell you? Wu Lingyu said unintentionally. Those two bastards, they didn't even tell me about such an important thing. Watch me teach them a lesson. Sima Ji Yuan walked towards Sima Lu Feng's house after he finished speaking, to find someone to teach them a lesson. Wu Lingyu laughed unkindly. You guys didn't help me put in a good word and even hit me when I was down, you guys will suffer this time. This move, it's ruthless. I'm afraid the two uncles will be taught a lesson by the old master for a long time. Shiman Feng said, did they offend you? No. Wu Lingyu said so, but his expression showed that he didn't think so. Di Wu, who was at the side, was confused, but he could see that Wu Lingyu wasn't someone to be trifled with. It was better not to provoke him in the future. Sima Yuyue came to the living room. As expected, she saw Little Helper sitting there alone waiting for her. Little Helper, did your master ask you to send me the news? Chapter 1294. Seeing her anxious look, the child smiled and said, yes. What did your master say? Where is my father? Sima Yuyue asked anxiously. Sister Yuyue, don't be anxious. My master said that he will only tell you when everyone is here. Xiao Tong's indifferent look really resembled his master, who deserved a beating. Isn't this my own business? Why do we need everyone here? Sima Yuyue was confused. My master said that because you have given us too much, we must repay you. Originally, we were only supposed to give you information about your father, but now, we're going to help you rescue your father. That's why I want to go with you. Xiao Tong said. Aren't you not allowed to participate in these matters? Will it bring you any trouble if I get involved? Sima Yuyue asked worriedly. Big sister Yuyue, master said that I changed my future because of you. If I don't return it to you, I won't be able to retire and will hinder my future development. Little Helper said, also, master told me that this trip will be more daunting than dangerous. I won't die. Sima Yuyue was relieved to hear that. She asked, who is the person you're waiting for? One is me, and the other is already here. There's another one on the way. He should be arriving soon. Little Helper said. One is already here. Who is it? It's that ghost in your backyard. Little Helper said. Di Wu? Why do you want him to come along? Sima Yuyue asked curiously. Master said that he would be of great use in that place. Little Helper said. Sima Yuyue calculated in her heart. It seemed like the timing of Di Wu's arrival wasn't a coincidence. And the other man you spoke of? She asked. The other person is your old friend. Master sent someone to look for him, and he has already agreed to come and help. Little Helper said. My old friend? Who is it? Sima Yuyue thought for a while. Her only old friends were Qin Mo and Third Mo. Of course it's me. Third Mo's voice came from outside. Then, that unrestrained figure walked in. Shameless Third, it's really you. Sima Yuyue looked at Third Mo in surprise. Of course. Third Mo walked over and patted her shoulder. How can I not come when you have something on? Hee hee, thank you. Sima Yuyue punched Third Mo's chest with her fist. She turned to look at Xiao Tong and asked, but why must he come along? Master said that he is the best at searching for spirits. Only with him can we guarantee your father's rescue. The little helper said. Seeking spirits? I can do that too. Since Master said so, he naturally has his reasons. The little helper said. All right. Then why do we need Diwu as well? Sima Yue asked. With it, we can go to that place. My father is in the ghost realm? You can say so. The little helper continued. Do you know that there's actually a place where the ghost realm and the human realm intersect? Sima Yue frowned. Why hadn't she heard of this place? Ghost City? Third Mo said. Yes. Isn't that a place in legends? No, it's real. The little helper continued, but because it's not here, people don't know about it. Where exactly is the ghost city? At the place where the human realm and the ghost realm intersect. The little helper continued, I don't know the exact location. You said this just now. Third Mo continued, where exactly is the place where the human realm and the ghost realm intersect? I don't know either. The little helper shrugged with an innocent look. You're a divinator. Your master is Yin Lin. How can you not know? Third Mo stared at the little helper. Master didn't say where it is. He only said that the ghost clan knows. The little helper said. Then let's call that ghost clan over and ask. Wait a minute. Sima Yue stopped the two of them. Since when did the ghost realm and the human realm intersect? Didn't the soul automatically go to the ghost realm after death, but the people from the ghost realm can't come over? If there's a place where they intersect, why would something like this happen in Fair Eastern City? That's because, although the ghost city is the place where the human realm and the ghost realm intersect, it's harder than ascending to heaven to come out from there. The ghost clan would rather choose a method like Fair Eastern City than to come from the ghost city. Third Mo said. Why? There's a good path. Why must they use such a method? There's a lightning tribulation guarding there. And the human clan. The little helper explained. Then let's find another way. Sima Yue said. It was almost impossible for the ghost clan to pass through the lightning tribulation. Not to mention that even if they passed through the lightning tribulation, there were still humans guarding outside. Seeing the injured ghost clan, the human clan went up to kill them. It's not that no one has come here before. It's just that it's extremely rare in history. Then can the human clan pass through there freely? Sima Yue asked. If the human clan wants to go over, they still have to go through the lightning tribulation. The little helper continued, however, the ghost clan would still dig some passageways from time to time. But if the living human clan wants to go to the ghost realm, they can only go through there. No matter where the person died, the soul would automatically enter the ghost realm. But if the living wanted to enter the ghost realm, they could only go through the ghost city. That's why father wanted to go to the ghost realm to find mother back then, so he went to the ghost city. But how did he know the address of the ghost city? Sima Yue had some doubts. But this question could only be answered when they found him. If your parents really wanted to go through this place to find your mother, then they might be trapped there. Third Mo continued, although your two uncles have been looking for him for so long, if they don't know about the ghost city, then naturally they wouldn't be able to find him. It's highly possible. Sima Yue continued, follow me, we'll ask Diwu where the ghost city is. We'll also ask the uncles if they know about the ghost city. The three of them went to the backyard. Bai Sheng, Feng Kai, and the rest were all there. They were circling around Diwu while rubbing their chins. Is he really from the ghost clan? Why can't I sense any aura from him? Diwu smiled proudly. Sima Yue walked over and said, Diwu, you can stay. Really? Young miss, you agree? Diwu was so happy that he danced for joy. Shimen Feng and the rest were curious about Sima Yue's sudden change. Why did she change after going out for a trip? I agree. Sima Yue continued, but, I have a request. Young miss, as long as you don't chase me back, not to mention 1, even 8 or 10 wouldn't be a problem. If you want to follow me, then you have to listen to me. If I say 1, you can't say 2. If I say east, you can't go west. If I say stop, you can't walk. Can you do that? This book came from Chapter 1295. Diwu was stunned when he heard Sima Yoyue's request. Sima Yoyue's face darkened. Why? You can't do it? If you can't do it, then go back. No, it's not impossible. Diwu quickly denied, I'm just surprised. What are you surprised about? When I came here, Master had told me that I must listen to Mrs. words. If you say 1, I will not say 2. If you tell me to go east, I will not go west. I'm just surprised that Mrs. words are the same as Master's. Diwu said. Cousin said so too. Sima Yuyue felt warmth in her heart. Since cousin said so, will you be obedient? Of course I'll listen to Miss. If you say 1, I won't say 2. If you tell me to go east, I won't go west. Diwu said. You said it yourself. Sima Yuyue said. NN. Diwu nodded, indicating that he would definitely be obedient. Great-granddaughter, why did you let him follow you again? Sima Zhiyuan didn't approve of it. The ghost clan was a hidden danger by her side. Shiman Feng and Sima Lu Yun also looked at her disapprovingly. Great-grandfather, don't worry, I have a use for him. Sima Yuyue said. Xiao Tong said that only he can lead us to father. What? Really? Everyone looked at little helper and Diwu. Could he bring them to her father? Great-granddaughter, are you sure? If you don't believe Xiao Tong, you should believe his master, Yin Lin. Sima Yuyue said. Then where is your father now? Sima Lu Feng asked. Ghost City. Sima Yuyue said. Diwu, do you know where Ghost City is? Ghost City. Diwu almost jumped up from the shock. It seems like you know about it. Sima Yuyue said. You know how to get there, right? Diwu's expression turned ugly. He looked at Sima Yuyue with difficulty and said, Miss, this Ghost City isn't an ordinary place. Do you really want to go? You have to go, Sima Yuyue said firmly. But that place is very dangerous. My father is trapped there. Sima Yuyue said. You just said that you would listen to me. Diwu was silent. Great-granddaughter, is your father really in Ghost City? Sima Zhiyuan's eyebrows were furrowed. It seemed like he knew about Ghost City. Patriarch, you know about Ghost City? Sima Lu Feng asked. I've heard of it before, but I always thought that it was just a legend. Sima Zhiyuan said. I didn't think that he would actually go to that place. Where is that? Sima Lu Yun asked. After so many years of searching, if they couldn't find the right direction, then wouldn't it be useless? That's the place where the human realm and the ghost realm intersect, but not many people know about it. Sima Zhiyuan said. Even I thought that it was just a legend. I didn't think that it really exists. How is that place dangerous? Sima Lu Feng asked. The people who live there are all dark spirit masters, or people from the ghost clan. You can imagine what life is like there. Most people who go there don't come out alive. Diwu said. They are all dark attribute spirit masters? I also heard it from Master. Master said that he heard it from your mother. Diwu said. As for where your mother found out about it, I don't know. There's no way out? Sima Yuyue felt a little heartache for her father. Since he knew about that place, he definitely knew how dangerous it was. Even so, in order to find her mother, he had to go there without hesitation. Yuyue, when are you going? We want to go too. Sima Lu Feng said. That place is very dangerous. It might not be a good thing if there are too many people. Diwu said. You guys aren't dark attribute spirit masters. You might cause trouble if you go. But if only a few of you go, we won't be at ease. Sima Zhiyuan disagreed. Why don't you let us go to the little realm? Sima Lu Feng said. If we don't follow you, we won't be at ease. Sima Yuyue was silent for a while. then said, "That's fine too. I'll go with you too." Shiman Fong said. Sima Yue shook her head, saying, "Fong, you and the people from Heartbreak Valley can't go." "Why? You guys still have your own things to do." "I don't know how long I'll be gone this time. Heartbreak Valley needs you guys to hold down the fort. We can start devouring their economy." Sima Yue said, "If you guys go, who will do all this?" "But I'm worried." Shiman Fong said. "There are people from Blood Fiend City with me, what's there to be worried about?" Sima Yue said. "But, Fong, don't worry, I'll be fine." Sima Yue said, "We need you for the things here." Shiman Fong saw her determined attitude and could only agree in the end. "Then be careful. We'll wait for you to come back in Heartbreak Valley." "Don't worry, I'll go back," Sima Yue said. Shiman Fong looked at Wu Lingyu, saying, "You have to protect her well." "Of course. I want to go too," Sima Zhiyuan said. "No." Sima Yue rejected immediately. "Why?" Sima Zhiyuan was hurt. Why did she reject him immediately? Sima Yue saw his big reaction, went forward and held his hand, smiling, "Great-grandfather, we don't know how long we'll be delayed in Ghost City. You're the patriarch of the family. There are so many things going on in the family now. If you go, what if something big happens and we can't find you?" This was the first time Sima Yue was close to him. That kind of closeness made him happy, but her words made him unhappy. "Patriarch, I also think it's not appropriate for you to go," Sima Lu Feng said. Seeing Sima Zhiyuan staring over, he shrunk his neck. "Patriarch, the matter between the family and the Gu family has reached its climax, right?" Sima Luyun said. "You two brats." Sima Zhiyuan was furious. Why did these two fellows follow Sima Yue and not let him go? "Patriarch, we're just speaking the truth." Sima Luyun had a certain amount of resistance to his pressure. He didn't shrink back like Sima Lu Feng. Sima Zhiyuan knew that the time wasn't right, but he still wanted to go together. But seeing that Yu wasn't willing, he sighed and said, "All right. But you can't go just like that." "Then how are we going to go?" Sima Lu Feng asked. "Go to one side and stay there." Sima Zhiyuan glared at him again. He turned around and continued, "I'll get Xiao Qi and the others to come with you." Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun were surprised. "Uncle and the others are back?" "Who is Xiao Qi?" Sima Yue asked. "Your grandfather, Sima Xiao Qi." This book came from Chapter 1296. It was Sima Yue's first time hearing about her grandfather. She was shocked. None of them had mentioned her grandfather before. She thought they were no longer in this world. Now that she suddenly heard their news, she was still a little stunned. "Grandpa and Grandma." Sima Yue frowned slightly. "Do you want them to go with us?" "They have been searching for Lu Xian outside. I can contact them and ask them to come here." Sima Zhiyuan said, "I'm worried about letting these two little fellows accompany you." Two little guys, Sima Lu Feng and Sima Lu Yun, were speechless, but they couldn't refute. Ahem. Sima Yue tried her best to suppress her emotions so that she would not laugh out loud. These two little fellows were already a few hundred years old. To be called little fellows by others, they probably hadn't experienced it for a long time. Cough cough, Patriarch, how long will it take for Uncle and the rest to get here? Sima Lu Yun changed the topic. "I haven't told them about Yue. If they knew that you were back, they would have rushed back immediately. Let alone knowing where your father is." Sima Zhiyuan said. "Grandfather, ah. Grandfather." Sima Yue thought of Sima Lai. They had been in closed-door cultivation recently because they felt that they were unable to keep up with her pace. They wanted to be with her because their love for her made them not want to hold her back. To be honest, she knew that she would be a little afraid of unfamiliar feelings, just like how she was against Sima Lu Yun and Sima Lu Feng in the beginning, and how she would subconsciously refute Sima Zhiyuan's words when she saw him. However, after interacting with them for real, she would quickly accept them because she had slowly accepted these feelings. Now, there was another person who was related to her by blood but had never met before. She didn't know if she could handle it well. Sima Lu Yun patted her shoulder and said, "If uncle and aunt knew that you're back, they would be very happy. Don't worry." "Yes." Sima Yuyue responded softly. She was looking forward to the arrival of her grandparents, but she was also worried. While she was waiting, she wanted Shimin Feng and others to go back earlier, but they insisted that she should go back after she left, and at the same time meet her grandparents. Sima Yuyue wanted Fatty Chu and the rest to go back because they were not strong enough. If they went back, they would be in danger. This made them feel very depressed. The distance between them was really getting further and further. But in the end, they still followed along, but promised to stay in the spirit pagoda. While she was waiting, the Union sent her some news and told her some news about the Union Alliance. Today, she and Wu Lingyu were enjoying a rare moment together in the courtyard. Shimin Feng, Bai Sheng and the others went out to deal with Heartbreak Valley's matters, and Sima Ji Yuan also brought the two little guys out. In order to follow her and catch up with her, Fatty Chu and the rest had already found an excuse to go into closed-door cultivation in the Spirit Pagoda. The two of them chatted casually as they sipped their tea. How rare. I finally have time to be alone. Sima Yuyue saw him complaining and pursed her lips into a smile. This guy finally couldn't hold it in anymore. Wu Lingyu saw her smile and pursed his lips slightly, saying, "Don't you think so? It'll be fine after a while." Sima Yuyue chuckled, "There are many people now, so I neglected you. Don't be calculative." Calculative? Wu Lingyu's body leaned forward. He was originally sitting beside Sima Yuyu, so in this way, this person leaned towards her. His mouth breathed softly in her ear, his voice bewitching, "I'm not calculative. I hope you can find your parents soon. Then we can get married earlier, and I can eat you earlier." Sima Yuyue couldn't help but blush. She reached out and pushed his head away, changing the topic, asking, "When you see grandfather and the rest, do you have to pass another test?" "That's really not something I like to do." Wu Lingyu was pushed away by her, so he leaned forward again and played with her fingers with his slender fingers. Sima Yuyue was too lazy to push him away this time, so she allowed him to play with her fingers. "Speaking of which, how did you deal with great-grandfather last time? I remember that when I left, the two of you were still at loggerheads. When I returned, the two of you were already talking and laughing together. This is a little secret between men." There was such a thing as a little secret between men? "I remember that grandfather and my brothers didn't like you very much back then, but they accepted you later. Is this also your little secret? Your great-grandfather is much more difficult to deal with than your grandfather and your brothers. I believe that it won't be so easy for you to deal with my parents." Sima Yuyue laughed. "It's troublesome to have too many relatives." Wu Lingyu said, "Look, it's so good to be like me. I don't have any relatives, so you don't have to face so many things. And the only one I'm related to is Master. But that old man likes you more than me. Maybe he'll stand on your side and test me when the time comes. Master has been gone for so many years. Are we really not going to look for him?" Sima Yuyue played with the teacup with her other hand. She was worried about Old Man Devil's safety. His life jade is fine. Even if he doesn't find him, he won't have a bad life. Wu Lingyu said. "When Master comes back, Senior Uncle and the others will definitely flip out. He's been ignoring the matters in the valley for so long." Sima Yuyue said. "He's always been like that. The people in the valley are already used to it." Wu Lingyu said, "If you're worried about him, you can contact your Aunt Feng. Her soul imprint is different from others. You can contact her directly. Previously, it was her subordinates who sent people to get the pills. Unless it's absolutely necessary, I don't want to contact Aunt Feng. I always feel that once I contact her, I'll enter another world that I don't know about. I don't think I'm ready to enter that world yet." Sima Yuyue said. That's true. It's indeed a little early for you to know. Wu Lingyu said. Sometimes, I really feel that I'm too weak. I'm so far away from your world. I've tried my best to improve myself. I want to enter your world as soon as possible, but I realize that it's still so far away. Sima Yue said sadly. You've already improved at lightning speed. Wu Lingyu said, I'll wait for you in front. You can walk over slowly. I'll keep up with your footsteps. Sima Yue said. She turned her head and looked at the beautiful face leaning on her shoulder with a face full of attachment. She helplessly rolled her eyes. You are a dignified devil king of the devil realm. Is it really okay for you to do this? Chapter 1297. Although her words were full of disdain, the expression on her face was full of affection. I like the smell on your body. Wu Lingyu did not feel embarrassed at all. If your subordinates find out about this, the image that you have built up over hundreds of thousands of years will be destroyed. The image that I've built up over the years will also be destroyed. Sima Yue said playfully as she stretched out a hand and flicked his forehead. Wu Lingyu sat up straight, took her hand, and pulled her into his arms. Sima Yue took the opportunity to sit on his lap. She leaned back and leaned on him. He hugged her and rested his head on her shoulder. Yu. Sima Yue waited for a while, but he did not say anything. She turned to look at him. What happened? It's nothing. That's not like you. Sima Yue played with his fingers. Are you worried about meeting my grandparents or the upcoming trip to Ghost City? If possible, I really hope you don't go to Ghost City. It's too dangerous there. Wu Lingyu said, but I know that it's impossible for you not to go now. Sima Yue turned around and placed her hands on his shoulders. You weren't this worried about what I wanted to do in the past. What happened this time? Ghost City is not a place that humans can easily touch. Wu Lingyu said, I have a feeling that I will fall into a coma again and lose my power. What if I can't protect you if you are there? However, Sima Yue's attention was not on this. She grabbed his hand to check and asked, was the last time you fainted in Wonderland? Wu Lingyu hesitated for 2 seconds. She stared sharply into his eyes and said, you even fainted in between? Wu Lingyu pulled his hand away and said, don't worry, it'll only happen once or twice. Something's not right. Sima Yue grabbed his hand again and examined it. When have I ever lied to you? It really happened once or twice. Wu Lingyu saw that she was a little flustered and smiled. I'm not saying that this is wrong, Sima Yue said, logically speaking, your soul should have fused better after you went into hibernation. But why is your soul weaker than the last time I checked your pulse? I'm just a little bit weaker. You even noticed that. Your medical skills are getting better and better. Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue held his face with both hands, preventing him from turning around. She said sternly, don't try to fool me. Tell me, when did it start? 2 years after I went to the devil world, Wu Lingyu answered honestly. What did you experience in the demon realm? Actually, it's nothing. It's all about fighting and killing and recruiting. You injured your soul back then. Sima Yue said, or rather, it's because of your soul that you were injured, and then your soul was injured. She became more and more agitated as she spoke. Her hands that were grabbing onto him were trembling, and her eyes were filled with self-blame. Wu Lingyu wrapped one hand around her waist and caressed her face with the other, saying, it's all right, don't blame yourself. I'm fine. If you didn't cancel the contract because of me, how would it? Sima Yue's eyes turned red. If I had caused you to be injured, I would blame myself for the rest of my life. Wu Lingyu said, moreover, a man shouldn't let a woman get hurt because of a man. But these words were completely useless to her. Apart from blaming herself, she was also trying to recall if there were any similar situations in the medical books that she had studied before. Wu Lingyu tightened his grip on her waist and pulled her consciousness back. He covered her lips and nibbled lightly as punishment for her disobedience. But once he touched her lips, he couldn't control himself and wanted to take more. Only by letting himself go deeper could he comfort himself with his current thoughts. Oh. Someone's coming. Sima Yue felt someone walking towards the courtyard and tapped his shoulder lightly. Wu Lingyu left her lips and their lips parted, leaving behind an ambiguous silver thread. I really want to do you on the spot. He pressed his forehead against hers, his voice hoarse because he was suppressing himself. Sima Yue patted his shoulder and got off him, saying, all right, someone's really coming. Wu Lingyu pulled her hand and let her sit in her seat. The tea on the table had already turned cold. Sima Yue waved her hand and the tea set disappeared and a new set appeared in its place. While she was still boiling the water, Sima Zhiyuan walked in with an unfamiliar man and woman. Once they saw Sima Yue, the two of them quickened their pace and walked over. Looks like your grandfather and parents are here. Do you need me to leave? Wu Lingyu asked. No need. You have to see them anyway. Sima Yue said. Patriarch, is this Xian Er's child? The woman came in front of Sima Yue and looked at her excitedly, not knowing what to do. Child, I'm your grandmother. Grandmother. Sima Yue glanced at Sima Zhiyuan subconsciously. Seeing that he didn't deny it, she knew that these two people were indeed her grandfather and grandmother. Yue, my child. Huang Yingning stepped forward and hugged Sima Yue. After a while, she let go of her and touched her face. Her lips trembled. Although you look like your mother, you still resemble your father a little. Sima Yue was touched by the warmth in her eyes. All along, most of her family members were men. Although there were third mother and Aunt Yi, they were not direct blood relatives. Now that she saw Huang Yingning, she felt different. Yue, this is your grandfather. Huang Yingning pulled Sima Xiuqi, who hadn't opened his mouth since he came in, and introduced him to her. Sima Yue looked at Sima Xiuqi. Her real grandfather was indeed handsome. She had never seen her father before and didn't know if he looked like him. However, he looked quite similar to Sima Zhiyuan. But he looked much more serious than her great-grandfather. He didn't have much of a smile on his face. If it wasn't for the joy in his eyes, she would have thought that he was unhappy with her. Grandfather. She called out. Don't pull a long face. Yue is about to be frightened by you. The only person who dared to scold Sima Xiuqi like this was his father. Seeing that Sima Yue was indeed a little frightened, he eased the expression on his face and tugged the corner of his mouth. It's good that you're back. What an elder's way of greeting her. Sima Yue pulled him over. Grandfather, grandmother, let me introduce you. This is my senior brother Wu Lingyu, the holy son of the Sage Pavilion. He is also my boyfriend. Sima Xiuqi's originally calm face was immediately filled with anger after hearing the last sentence. He stared at Wu Lingyu and said, boyfriend? Chapter 1298. Don't be so surprised, he's a boyfriend. He's someone who will be married in the future. Sima Zhiyuan said. I can guess what that means. Sima Xiuqi stared at Sima You's hand that was holding onto Wu Lingyu's arm. His gaze seemed to want to drill a hole through Wu Lingyu's arm. Wu Lingyu. Come here. Wu Lingyu stepped forward. Sima Yue saw that Sima Xiuqi's expression was ugly and subconsciously pulled his arm. It's okay. Wu Lingyu patted her hand to comfort her. Grandfather, let's talk about it later. Sima Yue said. Huang Yingning slapped Sima Xiuqi and said, look at the situation now. What if you scare your granddaughter? I haven't done anything yet. Sima Xiuqi argued. How could this scare his granddaughter? Great-grandfather, grandfather, grandmother, since you're here, let's go to Ghost City. Sima Yue said. Once he thought about his son who had been missing for over 50 years, Sima Xiuqi temporarily let Wu Lingyu off and said, this Ghost City isn't a place where we can go just because we want to. It's better if we make some preparations first. I've prepared everything. Sima Yuyue said, we can leave after Grandpa and Grandma have a good rest. Are you ready? Yes. Sima Yuyue said, when I was waiting for you guys, I asked Diwu to prepare everything that could be prepared. Actually, what Diwu said was very simple, she just needed to prepare more elixirs, spirit tools, and array formation stones, especially elixirs. Because that place was filled with darkness spirit force and death aura, it was troublesome to recover spirit force after consuming it. The only way was to rely on pills. However, he did not know that Sima Yuyue had the little realm and the spirit pagoda. With these two things, she would be able to recover as long as she returned to the little realm. But just in case, she still prepared more of the things that Diwu mentioned. Since you've prepared everything, let's set off now. The earlier we go, the earlier we can find your father. Huang Yingning said. If you don't have any objections, then it's fine if we go earlier. I'll gather everyone and leave immediately. Sima Yuyue said. All right. You go first. Sima Yuyue pulled Wu Lingyu out to look for Third Mo and Di Wu. Seeing their backs as they left, Sima Ji Yuan smiled and nodded, saying, the two of them are really compatible. Their backs are very pleasing to the eye. Sima Xiuqi was unhappy as he pulled a long face and said, Patriarch, why did you agree to them being together? Yu Yu is a child of the Sima family, how can you be together with someone from the Sage Pavilion? Then can you separate them? Let's see if Yuyue will fall out with you. I dare to bet that if you dare to go, Yuyue will immediately take her away. Sima Ji Yuan said. Someone who even the Patriarch praised would naturally not be bad. Huang Yingning said, since the Patriarch has no objections, you don't have to be so calculative about his identity. That's right. Sima Ji Yuan glanced at him and said, Yuyue is amenable to coaxing but not coercion. As long as she acknowledges you, she will treat you wholeheartedly. If you go against her, be careful that she won't acknowledge you in the future. I spent a lot of effort to get her to acknowledge me, but I didn't manage to get her to acknowledge our family. That's why she still hasn't expressed her willingness to go back. We are her closest kin, how dare she not go back with us? Threats are of no use to her. I've understood her personality during this period of time. We can't use force on her, we can only use kinship to influence her. So you guys have to be more careful on the way. Other than protecting her safety, you have to try to influence her and make her return to the family. Sima Ji Yuan reminded. We understand. This ghost city has always existed in legends. We've never seen it before and have never come into contact with it. That's why we don't know what's going on inside. You guys have to be careful when you go there. If you bring Yuyue there, you have to bring her back. We will, Patriarch. Sima Xiuqi replied. The Patriarch didn't feel it in the past, but he seemed to have become a little naggy now. When there are no outsiders around, you should call me father. Sima Ji Yuan said. Sima Xiuqi and Huang Yingning were stunned. Ever since he became the Patriarch, everyone in the family had to call him Patriarch. Even his own son and daughter-in-law couldn't. They had been calling him that for so many years, why did he suddenly think of calling him that? Yu Yu is right. The title of Patriarch will increase the distance between us. It will make us feel less close. So when there are no outsiders around, you should call me father. Yes, father. Sima Yuyue brought Third Mo, Di Wu, and the others in. Behind them were Sima Lu Yun and Sima Lu Feng. Behind them were Shiman Feng and the others who came to send them off. Alright, everyone is here. Let's get ready to go. Sima Yuyue said. Sima Xiuqi saw that there weren't many people including them. He frowned and said, isn't it a little too little to bring so few people? When they were waiting, Sima Ji Yuan told them how dangerous Ghost City was. But if they only brought so few people, wouldn't they be sending themselves to their deaths? Grandmother, you're mistaken. We're not going with these people. Sima Yuyue said. Then how many are there? We'll be more confident if we bring more people. Huang Yingning said. Grandmother, it's not like that. Sima Yuyue said, Feng, and Old Bai are here to send me off. They're not going. Not going? Yes. Sima Yuyue explained, Yin Lin said that third Mo, Little Tong, and Di Wu are enough to follow me. But great-grandfather was worried, so he asked you to come with us. Otherwise, there will be fewer people. Can we handle it with just a few of us going? It wasn't that Huang Yingying wasn't confident in her own abilities. But when Sima Ji Yuan instructed them just now, they understood how dangerous Ghost City was. Grandmother, don't worry. It's not just the few of us. Sima Yuyue said, it's just that we're the ones who have to go on this journey. She didn't explicitly say that the people from Blood Fiend City would go together. But when she said that many people would go together, Sima Ji Yuan didn't refute, which meant that it was true. Sima Xiuqi and Huang Yingying were relieved and said, those people have already gone ahead? Then let's go too. Sima Yuyue turned back to look at Shimen Feng. Shimen Feng went forward and hugged her, saying, we'll wait for you at Heartbreak Valley. If you don't come back, I'll definitely bring people to kill them. Sima Yuyue saw the fear and worry in his eyes and smiled, don't worry, I'll definitely come back with my father. You guys can do whatever you need to do in the valley. I hope that I can hear good news when I come back. All right. We will definitely. Take this. Sima Yuyue placed her life jade in Shimen Feng's hand. Sima Ji Yuan was unhappy and pulled a long face. Chapter 1299. Since Sima Yuyue had given her life jade to Shimen Feng, the Sima family wouldn't know anything about her. The moment he got angry, the entire atmosphere changed. Sima Yuyue understood his thoughts and went up to hold his hand, saying, Great-grandfather, you have grandfather and grandmother's life tablets. If anything happened to them, Sima Xiuqi's life token would know. But that's not yours. Sima Ji Yuan said. Great-grandfather, it doesn't matter who it is. Sima Yuyue held his hand and said coquettishly, no matter what, I'm still the Vice Valley Lord here. They have to have news about me too. You can't let grandfather and the others leave their life tablets in Heartbreak Valley and leave mine here with you, right? That's nothing, no, alright, it's settled then. Sima Yuyue said, Great-grandfather, we're already on our way. You can't expect me to leave in a huff, right? Sima Ji Yuan saw her smiling coquettishly at him and didn't want to make her unhappy, so he said helplessly, all right then. I'll listen to you this time. You have to be good. I'll definitely be fine, Sima Yuyue quickly replied. Come back to the clan after we rescue your father. Sima Ji Yuan said, if you are worried about Heartbreak Valley, you can let them go to the inner region with you. Great-grandfather, they are doing well in Heartbreak Valley. Sima Yuyue said, the terrain of Heartbreak Valley is dangerous, and there is poisonous miasma as a natural barrier. It is better for the disciples in the valley who have many enemies. As for me, I'll wait until I find my father. She didn't say anything definite, which meant that she might go back or not. Everything depended on Sima Lu Xian's situation. Sima Ji Yuan had always known her position and knew that it was useless to rush her. He patted her shoulder and said, then you must save your father. I'll wait for you at home. I definitely will. Great-grandfather, don't worry. Sima Xiuqi and Huang Yingying looked at each other when they saw their interaction. Father really doted on Yuyue. She was probably the only one in the family who could be so intimate with her. Woof, 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 a few barks startled everyone present. They actually didn't notice any spirit beasts approaching. Xiao He ran out of nowhere and came to Sima Yuyue with a piccolo in his mouth. Sima Yuyue squatted down and patted its head. Where have you been these past few days? Woof, woof, woof. Little Black placed the piccolo in its mouth into her hand and called out twice to please her. What is this? Sima Yuyue looked at the piccolo. It was about 10 centimeters long and had a milky white body. There was a small skull on the edge of the piccolo and it felt cold in her palm. Di Wu jumped in fright when he saw the short flute. he shouted, "Bone flute! Bone flute? What's this?" Sima Yuyue tilted her head and asked. "It's a very famous underworld artifact in the ghost realm. The sound of the flute can control a person's soul. It was one of the top 10 underworld artifacts in the ghost realm. If I didn't guess wrongly, the incident in Fair Eastern City was caused by someone who used the ghost flute to attack your people in the air and opened up the passage," Di Wu said. "That's it?" Sima Yuyue looked at the bone flute in her hand. Speaking of which, there was indeed a flute sound in Fair Eastern City's incident. It was played by this thing? That should be it. Di Wu continued, "Don't let anyone know that the bone flute is with you. Otherwise, those people in the ghost realm will find trouble with you again." "Is it that attractive?" Sima Yuyue asked. "Why not? Ghost realm's top 10 underworld artifacts, 100 Ghosts banner, bone flute, God vanquishing seal are all ranked at the top. The appearance of any underworld artifact will cause the entire ghost realm to fight for it and cause a bloody storm. So powerful." Sima Yuyue laughed. She loved treasures. Woof woof woof. Seeing Sima Yuyue happy, Little Black was happy too. Sima Yuyue kept the bone flute and carried Little Black. The previous owner must have been struck to death by the lightning tribulation and left this here. "Little Black, you specially went to find it for me, right?" Woof woof woof. Little Black wagged its tail happily. "I'll study this eye properly when I'm free." "Alright, we're leaving." She took out a one-time use array and said to everyone, "Be careful." Shimin Feng warned. "Boss, I believe that you guys will be able to come back safely," Feng Kai said. "We'll settle the matters here properly. You go out, don't worry about this place," Bai Xing said. Sima Yuyue looked at them and nodded. She activated the array and everyone walked in. The array's light surrounded them and they disappeared quickly. "If Heartbreak Valley has any trouble, you can take this and find me." Sima Ji Yuan placed a jade pendant in Shimin Feng's hand. "You guys should know how to find it, right?" "Yes," Shimin Feng said. She's gone, I'll help her take care of you guys. Since you know, I won't say more." After speaking, he opened a space tunnel and walked in. Bai Xing saw that Shimin Feng was worried and said, "Don't worry, we know Yo Yue's ability, nothing will happen. Moreover, there are so many people from Blood Fiend City. Let's go, it's time to deal with Yin Yang Palace and Zongjin clan." This array was made by Sima Yuyue while she was waiting for Fang Ming to make it. The distance this time was too far and she was unable to set up such a long-distance array. Although Fang Ming was curious about her sudden trip to the southern wasteland, he didn't ask much and quickly set up the array for her. In the southern part of the southern wasteland, there was an endless swamp. It was known as the biggest and most dangerous swamp in the central regions. It was said that the swamp mud here was very light but extremely sticky. If one entered the swamp, it would be hard to come out. In a space somewhere in the swamp, an array exit suddenly appeared and Sima Yuyue and the others came out from it. Sima Xiuqi recognized it after a few glances and said, "Yes, this is the Southern Wasteland Swamp." "Southern Wasteland Swamp? How did we come here?" Sima Lu Feng and the others knew about this place but they didn't expect to come here so quickly. "Ghost City is here?" Sima Lu Yun frowned. "I asked President Fang to set up the array according to the coordinates given by Yin Lin. It should be correct," Sima Yuyue said. "Master said that Ghost City will set off from the Southern Wasteland Swamp." Little Helper confirmed the accuracy of this place. "But we've been here before and didn't find anything special," Sima Lu Feng said. In order to find Sima Lu Xian, they went to many places and the Southern Wasteland Swamp was one of them. When they came here before, they didn't find anything special about this place. Since Little Helper knows, then lead the way. Who knew that Little Helper shook his head and said, "I don't know the way behind." Chapter 1300. You don't know? Then how do we get to Ghost City? Sima Lu Feng asked. Little Helper looked at Di Wu and said, he'll lead the rest of the way. Me? Di Wu pointed at his nose in surprise. I don't know where Ghost City is. Everyone was speechless. So, no one knew where Ghost City was? They thought Little Helper knew, Little Helper thought Di Wu knew, but in the end, no one knew. Both of you don't know how to get to Ghost City? Sima Yue asked. Master said he knows. Little Helper said. I've never been there, I've only heard of it. Di Wu said innocently. Your master knows it's at this place, didn't he say the exact place? Little Helper shook his head, Yin Lin really didn't say. Then what do we do now? Everyone looked at each other, they didn't know what to do. Little Helper, why did your master say Di Wu knows? Sima Yue asked. Didn't he say Di Wu knows, did he say the reason? Little Helper said. Didn't Di Wu say he's heard of it? Maybe the place you've heard of is it? Wu Lingyu said. Let me think. Di Wu continued, I've heard of it a long time ago. I've heard of a saying before, when the sun sets in the west, humans and ghosts are connected. Could it be related to this? Sima Xiu Qi said. West Mountain? Right. The legendary Ghost City seems to be at West Mountain. Di Wu shouted. This West Mountain is the human realm's West Mountain, it shouldn't be related to Ghost Realm, right? No, Ghost Realm has a mountain called West Mountain too. Di Wu said confidently. But there's no mountain called West Mountain here. Sima Luyun continued, we came here to search before, we thought he might have come here, but we didn't find him after looking around. We knew there's no West Mountain here then. Whether there's one or not, we'll know after asking a spirit beast. Sima Xiu Qi said and sucked down, a spirit beast hiding in the swamp was sucked out. Spare me. Spare me. The little loach twisted its body in the air and cried out loudly. Don't shout, we don't want your life. Sima Xiu Qi said, let me ask you, is there a place called West Mountain in the southern wasteland swamp? When the little loach heard that it was not going to die, it immediately quieted down. Hearing Matthew's words, he thought for a moment, then said, no. There is no place called West Mountain in the southern wasteland swamp. Really? No. Little Loach said with certainty. Could it be that you know there's no one near you? Our spirit beasts move around quite frequently. If there are any, we'll definitely know. There's definitely no such place as the West Mountain, Little Loach said. Sima Xiu Qi saw that he was quite honest, so he let him go. He also caught a few spirit beasts to ask, and the results were the same. Seems like there really isn't a Western Mountain. Di Wu said. Sima Yue looked at the mountains in the distance. It was sunset now. The sun was between two mountains and was slowly sinking. Sunset West Mountain, could this West Mountain not be the name of a mountain range, but a mountain range in the west? Mountain range in the west? Huang Yingying followed Sima Yue's gaze and also saw the sun sinking in the west. That's not quite possible, right? Sima Lu Feng said, the mountain we're looking at now is the west. What if we're not standing at this position? If we're standing at the west of this mountain, then this mountain would be east of us. It seemed reasonable for him to say that. However, Sima Yue did not think so. She looked at those few mountains and felt that it was more and more similar. Since we don't have any other ideas, why don't we go there and try? Wu Lingyu suggested. That's true. Don't go there. The little loach from before suddenly stuck its head out from the mud, that place is very strange. Spirit beasts often go missing there. It's very dangerous. Oh. Little Loach's words immediately attracted their attention. Those two mountains don't seem to be anything special. Why is it so dangerous? I know. Anyway, it's especially dangerous at this time every day, so we won't go near it at this time. Little Loach said. It won't happen at other times? No, It's usually 2 hours before and after sunset. Then you'll be very scared. The spirit beasts that go there will disappear as they walk. Little Loach said. We got it. Thank you, Little Loach. This is a thank you gift. Sima Yuyue took out a pill and threw it to Little Loach. Little Loach didn't know what this pill was, but it smelled very comfortable. It was definitely something good. So it took the pill and sank down again. According to what it said, it should be that place. Sima Luyun said, I didn't expect that the intersection between humans and ghosts would be in such an inconspicuous place. Let's go over. They flew towards those few mountains. They didn't expect that although it looked close, it was actually quite far away. When they reached there, the sun had already set. They had no choice but to wait until the next day. On this day, they circled around the mountain. In the end, they didn't see any spirit beasts. It proved that this place was unusual. On the second day, when the sun was about to set, they left the range of the mountain range and slowly flew towards the middle of the two mountains. Just as they passed through the middle of the two mountains, the scene in front of them changed. Previously, this place looked like a swamp, but now, it was gray. There was no setting sun in the west, nor were there any green plants. They looked back. Although they could see the two mountains from before, it felt like they weren't in the same space. Did we come in? Should be. It's grayish everywhere. Where would Ghost City be? I know this. Di-Wu said. Didn't you say you didn't know? I didn't know how you people from the human realm came here. I knew when we came here. Di-Wu explained. Then how do we go? It said that there's only one direction at the intersection between humans and ghosts. No matter where you go, you'll reach Ghost City. Di-Wu continued, the direction you go is Ghost City. Once you exit Ghost City, you'll go to another world. So magical. It was the first time Sima Yuyue heard about it. She felt that it was unbelievable. It seemed to be in all directions, but there was only one direction. That was strange. But in this special place, it wasn't unacceptable. So no matter where we go, we'll reach Ghost City. Then why did you say you know the way? Sima Lu Feng rolled his eyes at him. That counts as knowing. Di-Wu retorted. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't know. Then let's just find a random direction. Sima Yuyue bit her lips. Did father go there like this too? Reading background default setting classic light blue classic light gray classic green classic bright yellow dark blue ocean autumn abundant green elegant red powder aristocratic family red talk dense sea vast sky broken heart past snow white world gray world font color default setting white red green blue brown font size default setting small medium large speed 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 0 mouse scroll description 1 to 10. 1 is the slowest, 10 is the fastest. You're tuning into the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.